Unbelievable.
Why don't we do that? God almighty! God, I can't believe it! What are we doing?
And now, still in disbelief, Soren Petro.
Right you are, Kay. Right you are. Petro on the program on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you for joining us here on a hot and sticky Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Final Friday of July. It'll be August. That's football month, isn't it? Right? We have games. We have real games, not NFL games. We'll have not real regular season NFL games. We'll have NFL preseason games, and we'll have real college football games in the month of August. So we will be in a football month.
Yeah.
Are you excited, Kurtis? Are you giddy?
I am.
Giddy to a point of...
I wouldn't say giddy.
No? Okay.
But it's fun to get in and go, oh, okay, Reed, who else is talking today? All right, cool.
Yeah, have a little
See
something going on.
Yeah.
You can grab a phone line right now, 913-381-810. Chiefs, Royal Sporting, KU, K-State, Missouri, always a topic. Yesterday a tough one for some to swallow, not that tough for me. We talked about it with David Lesky. I don't really care if they win another game. It's about the development. This is a development year now.
Yep.
And Carter Jensen walked twice. Jack Caglione hit the flag with a bomb. And
which is nice because the returns are he was starting to fall back a little bit.
Sure.
Okay, good. He can still do that.
Noah Cameron spun 7 great innings. Great. Matt Strom ain't going to be on this team next year anyway. Don't care.
Nope.
I wish him the best,
does not
but
figure into the long-term plans.
Yeah, that's all I'm worried about is we're on to 27. Quote Bill Belichick. We're on to the Titans. You know?
We're on to the Titans.
We ain't got anything to talk about really on this year. It's all about what's going to happen next year. I get that the guys in that clubhouse have to, worry about it, and I expect them to go out and play hard and try, and I think they did. I think just Matt Strom's maybe cooked or not healthy.
And it wasn't a terrible pitch. It wasn't middle.
It wasn't the fat cookie that was served up to Jack Caglione.
It was low and outside, but it wasn't low and outside.
I thought it was interesting that Caglione, kind of a la third grade kickball, drew a little circle in the air right about here. If you could put it right here. Remember when give it to me fast and with a little bounce.
Right here.
A little bounce.
Exactly.
I
like them bouncy.
Yeah, you call your pitch, and when he reached out there, just like right here. And then the guy put it there.
Even as
Strom
a kid,
we didn't have that.
No, not quite. But I mean, it wasn't middle, but it was a reachable pitch clearly. But
you thought he got it?
I was listening to it. I was in my car and went.
Cody Clemens.
Cody with a K.
And why? Do you know why he's Cody with a K?
I don't.
You really don't?
I don't.
Oh, maybe I'm the only one. I thought this was common knowledge. Kyle, do you know why he is Cody with a K? Clemens?
I don't know.
Is his parents with a K name? Is that one of those things we talked about a few weeks ago?
This is amazing. I can't believe you don't know this. How about iPhone over here on his final day, mailing one in? Do you know? No? Thunderdome? No? You've got to be kidding me. I'm
Does
the only
his
one.
Last name start with a K too?
No.
Okay.
He's got a notable father.
Roger?
Yeah. What did Roger do?
He K'd a lot of guys.
K'd a lot of people. So
Nice.
all his kids' names start with K.
That's dumb.
You didn't know. You didn't know that? You're not aware of that?
I didn't. I didn't. I'll be honest. I didn't really know much about Cody.
Well,
Clemens
the fact that you don't,
yesterday.
now I'm like checking myself. Now I back my confidence level down to like 98%. Somebody Google that. Because now I'm like, how can I be the only one?
Yeah, he is.
All right.
He's a son of 7-time signing with Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
And he's obviously was juiced as a child, giving this kid the roids.
We can't just have a nice family discussion here.
Nah, I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he didn't. They didn't start till he was in high school.
Cody Clemens.
Cody Clemens.
Cody with a K.
02.
Like Clint Kubiak.
Mm-hmm.
All the Kubiak kids are KK.
Yep.
You like that?
It's
You're Kurtis with a K. You can't get too PO'd here, buddy.
No, but I mean, there are a number of.
The more common spelling is with a C, correct?
Absolutely, but you'll see more Kurtises with a K than you will Clints with a K.
Okay, that's true, and I'm sure Cody's too. But does your father have a wicked bender, or is he a big slider,
No,
why the K for you?
This is kind of funny. All three of us. Well, my oldest brother was named Gary, but it's spelled like G.
Spelled with a K.
Spelled like Jerry with a G. Because his name was Jerry, so Gary was Gary, but he used a G. That was cute. Brian was Brian with an I. There's even more ways to do that. Mine, he said he thought it was the proper way if you wanted to shorten the name to Kurt, which it's not. There's ample Kurts with a C. We know one of them.
Yes.
Kurt Gowdy. There's a many Kurts with a C. And two, who said I wanted to shorten it? For a long time, I didn't like it because it always got misspelled. I get a little bit of the C with the line drawn next to it. As I've gotten older, I kind of like it. I like that it's a little different. When you're young, you don't want to be different. you don't want to stand out.
You know what my name is? You know who you're talking to here?
That's why I gave you the nod. You know what that's like. You don't want to have the funny name. But now,
Soren Petro.
Yeah.
Every single year, every teacher, always.
And sometimes an occasional guest in your mid-50s.
An occasional? Who is it we got a regular who still doesn't have it
someone
out.
on the drill always calls you that too. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't worry about it.
If it was C, I wouldn't. I mean, people call me. I couldn't be called K-Dog. C-Dog doesn't sing. K-Dog's kind of cool. I like the K.
Okay.
Hey, K. What's up, K? I dig it now.
All right. I'm glad we got this out in the open.
I'm sure people call him K-Dog as well.
People have been demanding this for years, and now we finally answered all those questions.
Yep.
Let's move on to the more important topics of the day. Why are you double logoed, Kyle with a K?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you spun that hat around? You're double logoed.
Yeah.
Is Army playing tonight? I'm not aware of it.
I'm just excited for the upcoming football season. When are we doing our American Conference coach rankings? Spoiler, Jeff Monken's number 1.
Yeah, it's later. It's in the back, Well, it's towards the back end. We'll get to that. 913-3810810. John's already got a line. He's going to lead us off here in a minute. We'll talk some Royals with John. We can touch on, since John's going to set the table there. Let's do the Royals, and we'll make our way around to the Chiefs stuff we've got.
Ooh, good time.
By the way, if you want to be in on the Chiefs conversation and you're not aware of it, Google Travis Kelce training camp photo. Because that'll be one of the places we start. So if you want to be up to speed, just go ahead on your phone. Get to a stoplight if you're driving, and we'll just we're going to get some people's thoughts on how the off season went, and then we'll relay that to what we think the regular season is going to be.
Maybe we'll play a clip from someone who thought maybe he wasn't saying what he was saying.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think Drew Tranquil
right.
completely thought through what he said about how Travis Kelce looks. But
yeah. So we'll get to that a little bit later on. Let's start with the Royals. I God bless all of you that have it within you to bitch and moan on Twitter about a loss at this point. I mean, I genuinely salute you. I probably, if you're that fired up about last night, yes, Todd Lebo with 2 outs goes, let's see how they're going to screw this one up.
With 2 outs.
With 2 outs in the 9th. Nobody on.
And nobody on, up 3.
And when it happened, he just pointed and said, see, we're on the air. And he just pointed to the TV right there.
The second base runner is when I went, oh, man.
This is not going.
Tying runs at the plate.
This is not going to go well.
One guy, fine. 2 on, crap.
This is over. This is the minimum tie game. Is it going to be a 3-run homer, or is it going to be the grand salami?
And then to add the artistic, the walk on a 3-2 pitch that's reviewed, it's challenged. Oh, is the game going to be over? Is the game? Salvi's really good at this. Is it? Oh, no, ball 4. Winning run at the plate.
And so Cody Clemens, by the way, I got a text. Breaking news. Soren got a name right and was able to school others
Nice.
about the name. Film at 11.
Nice.
It doesn't happen often.
Good,
I get
it's
the
a good
name right.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, so Cody Clemens bombs it. Like I said, I like the passion, but I heard Jason quote my if not him, then who? And I appreciate anytime somebody will be like, Strom can't be in there, it needs to be this guy. Jason is at the point with Matt Strom, if not him, then who? Anybody. And I've always said, if you want to fire a manager, you want to fire a coach, tell me who you want to replace him with. And that's where the if not him, then who came from. Don't just tell me he's got to go. Well, who's going to come in and do it better? And we usually end up talking through all the other things that go with it that are part of the equation. And, but I've always said, when you get to the point that your fan base says anybody, that starts to not be a GM thing. That starts to be an ownership thing. Your fans can't be anybody. When the answer is anybody, you're starting to lose the fans. Now, let me be clear. This season is set sail. I mean, it's gone. And so there's nothing that's going to happen. I shouldn't say nothing. There's nothing that I can see on the horizon that's going to happen that's going to bring me to the point where I go, they got to let go of Matt Quatraro. There's not a good answer in that bullpen.
No.
There just isn't. I mean, and Daniel Lynch is the guy people go to. He had pitched 2 days in a row. And whether you're going to trade him or this is one of our anchor bullpen guys, there is no reason at any point the rest of this year to risk anybody. The popular answers will go get Daniel Lynch. Well, he's thrown 2 back-to-back days. Yeah. I did point out with David Lesky yesterday, it's only 10 pitches each time, so he's only thrown 20 pitches. But he's warmed.
And this wasn't even the next night. It was the next day.
The next day, right? And so that is part of the equation. So Daniel Lynch, if you value Daniel Lynch either as a trade piece or for the future, you're not going to pitch him back-to-back. Back-to-back-to-back.
Yeah.
And so that takes him off the board.
3 outings in 42 hours.
And Noah Cameron is pitching well, has been through the lineup 3 times, will be entering the top of the lineup a 4th time if you want to leave him in the game. The idea being that he would pitch the 8th, and then that would mean that you'd, get away with not having to get to Matt Strom.
Yeah, the 9 guy led off the 9th, so he would have had to play faced 1 and 2 at least a 4th time.
So, and you're trying to kind of rebuild his confidence. And he's at 97 pitches, and you're already talking about not trading Michael Wacha. I mean, I don't agree with that approach, but they're talking a fair trade we're not going to do. We have to be overwhelmed to move Michael Wacha. And so already they're worried about next year's pitching, and so you're going to run out to well over 100 pitches, a guy that is your best. He's the only guy that is under control in your pitching staff. Well, I guess Luinder Avila is too, but is the best pitcher you've got probably in 28, definitely in 29, because Michael Wacha's got an option that if he pitches like he is this year, next year they'll pick it up, and so you're going to run that out and risk it. Come on, guys. I mean, let's be real here. I want the Royals to win. It's disappointing, and like I said, I admire your passion for trying to win every game, and that's what the guys in that dugout should do every single time they step on the field. But this season is lost. That's fun. You guys go do that. Go do your thing, and we'll evaluate how hard you play and how much heart you've got and who's still in it and who's focused and who's not. We'll evaluate that along the way. But the story of the Kansas City Royals competing for a playoff spot, for a division title, for winning significant baseball games, that lies after a cold, frosty winter in at least 27, if not 28. So, get fired up, but then get over it and get over it quick, because it doesn't matter. It really does not matter. And there really was there's no good answer. I get the idea that Matt Strom has been a home run fest, so go to somebody else. But literally, I would like to know, hit me with who you want.
Because it seems like every time someone comes in late and gives up the game, I can't believe they went to Alex Lang. Alex Lang shouldn't be on this team. Why are they going to Urseg? Urseg shouldn't be on this team. Matt Strom's terrible. Matt Strom shouldn't be on this team. Well, Daniel Lynch, John Schreiber, and Steven Cruz can't pitch every game.
Yeah.
They can't pitch every night. And you've got a starting rotation that really has one guy you can count on for any kind of length. I mean, what's the winning move here? And if it's about, Quatraro's judgment, I mean, if Lucas Urseg can't pitch in that game, when's he going to pitch? When they have a 5-run lead, how often's that going to happen?
And I'll come back to. I'm like, if Lucas Erceg clearly has stuff, but he's lost.
Yeah.
And so he's not gonna suddenly figure it out. Although Noah Cameron seems to be able to go from being terrible, terrible, terrible. He's fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Like we watched him struggle, fixed, struggle, fixed.
Yeah.
Like there's no like, oh, it's kind of easing back. He's either on or not.
I suppose he could have gone with Schreiber or Cruz, but
Schreiber is
3.
not against Clemens.
Yeah.
Schreiber sucks against lefties.
To start the inning.
But
he got 2 outs, and it's
yeah.
Get 3 outs before you give up 3 runs.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone should be able to do that.
Yeah. So, again, I appreciate your passion, but to me, the story is Jack Caglione hitting a home run. It's Carter Jensen walking twice, and it's Noah Cameron pitching well.
Yep.
Because whenever this team is back in the playoffs, those guys figure to be a part of the equation. Matt Strahm is not. And, Strahm is, I think it's the darkest mark on J.J. Piccolo's tenure as the general manager, is it not?
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to be convinced that something else was darker, but that's...
We mentioned, like, what else has gone more wrong than that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good call.
I mean, and it also because it flies in the face of their controllable years approach that we seem to hear on a lot of other things.
Yeah.
And so this time they gave up controllable years. Now, maybe it's like, we'll find out later that Jonathan Bolin was a big problem in the clubhouse, and they're like, he's got to go. And no matter what, let's get the most that we can. It's like, well, we got a good left-handed reliever we can get for him for 1 year. Okay, do it. And then those trades happen.
Looking pretty good in Philadelphia.
But from a pure baseball standpoint,
yeah,
the Phillies robbed the Royals. Robbed them. The same way Cole Reagans was robbery from the Rangers for half a year of Aroldis Chapman. And now Aroldis Chapman did go on to win the World. That was their World Series year, so they're not complaining that much about it because he was part of the equation of winning a championship. But that one, Broxton looks like he's going to be what you'd always kind of what I'm going to tell you for a fact is what they hoped he'd be when they drafted Jonathan Bolin. Because, I remember going through the draft with folks in the organization, and I'm like, okay, Brady Singer, here's what I hear, Daniel Lynch, Chris Bubich, and then it was Kowar second, and then Lynch, and whatever order they were. I can't remember what the order was. And then getting to Bolin, because 5 college pitchers, that's what everyone was talking about. And they're like, we're going to try him as a starter, but ultimately we think we've got a power reliever here in the end. Well, that's what he's become.
Yeah, 2.97 FIP with a 3.11 ERA, so the ERA is not
fictitious, yeah.
1.009 WHIP, 10.8 Ks per 9. 45 Ks and 9 walks in 37 and 2/3 innings.
And I'm not going to freak out about it because those numbers for Jonathan, I keep wanting to call him Jonathan Broxton, Jonathan Bolin, that should not be that hard to find.
Yeah.
It should not be that hard to manufacture an organization. He's not, that's not Billy Wagner in his prime, okay? Mm-hmm. That's not, who's the baddest? Mason Miller.
Yeah, right.
Okay? That's a guy like you should be able, those should be coming every year.
Yeah.
Should be one of those guys every year coming out of your system.
Nowadays they should.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like that's baseline where you'd want a guy like that back into the guy to be with those numbers.
913-3-810-810, the phone number, 913-3-810-810. John, James, you guys will lead us off. Got a couple lines open. You can grab it. We'll talk some Chiefs football as well. It's the program here on a Friday. You're listening to the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Petro, Seaboldt, Collier with you. Taking your phone calls at 913-3810810. Grab a line right now. You got something to say. We'll listen for at least a little bit. 913-3810810. Hit me up on the Twitter. It's at Soren Petro, SOREN PETRO. I will put it out there. Who would call Travis Kelce, at least this photo that we're seeing that everyone nationally is certainly making a big deal out of, and he's always going to get the national hype. And I'm going to go to John and James here in 1 second. But who would say that he's in the best shape of his life?
No one.
Which was what he vowed to do going into last year after we went through the song and dance of whether or not he was coming back.
I'm not sure he's in the best shape of my life. 'Cause I'm pretty sure at 22 I was maybe better, maybe not.
I mean, I'm sure there's a prenup.
But when someone,
but like at least when you're first getting married, I mean, you're certainly assuming this thing's going to work, and while you may not be able to take half her money along the way, you've got a pile of money, and you're married to someone who's got 10 times, 100 times more. You're going to. I don't think he's back just for the check, right?
Right.
So
it's when the video is put out there, and like every person that responds, whoa, he's eating well. Is he going to play? Is that Jason Kelce?
Yeah, that was my favorite one. Is that Jason?
Boy.
And Jason takes exception to that. He's like, I was not a fat offensive lineman, you know? You just listen. Hey, maybe he's going to play great. Maybe he's going to work himself into shape. Maybe they caught him in a bad angle, and maybe somebody doctored the photo. I don't know.
It was what I saw was actually kind of video of him just kind of moving around. And it did not look.
Yeah, well, that's true. It was video. So
we got to see more than one angle. I was like, okay, that's
all righty. Let's hope Rashee Rice's knee's doing well, because not so much. The thing that struck me is, like, you might want to go ahead and pull the sleeves down, because I don't.
No gun show.
I mean. I don't know if he's grabbed a weight since last year. I mean, that's one of the things that stood out to me. Like those are people get on Patrick Mahomes of the dad bod thing. Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes has always had the gun show working. Oh yeah, like he's picked up a weight, right? And I've always thought the dad bod thing on him was he's just built more like a linebacker than he is like the bodybuilder running back.
Never going to have the V.
Yeah, but man. You know, usually those guys, they're in the weight room and you're like, you know, the arms are like everybody's got a gun show in an NFL locker room. Mm-hmm. Not so much. 913-3810810. John, lead us off today. You're in the program, John. What's going on?
What you're missing about Travis is the calves. It's in the calves where you see the weight room there, Soren.
Okay.
But,
okay.
No.
I'll get a closer look later.
Jokes aside, no, I completely agree. It's a meaningless game in July. The season's been over since May. I'm probably a little personal on this because Noah's a local kid, and he's the only real pitcher that this organization has developed in about a decade. But I just don't understand. What's the worst case scenario? You throw him out there, and he pitches to the first guy. Let's say the guy to start the inning hits a solo shot. Okay, now you can throw the worst bullpen in baseball in there to continue to blow the game. So I don't know. I'm probably coming at this from like you ruined Noah Cameron's grandkid's shot of one day going, hey, Grandpa, can you tell me about that time in Minnesota when you threw a 9-inning shutout? You know what I mean? The season's lost. Why not give the kid a chance to complete the game? I don't know. I think it just goes back to like everything, all the frustrations of the season. But like the statistics show you that bullpen is not going to get it done in that situation. So like, why not give it to Noah in a meaningless season?
Because the statistics show you that after 97 pitches, you're greatly increasing with every pitch the chances that he's going to get hurt. Like I'd make you a case, get him out after
back
6.
To the bullpen too, though.
Don't let it. But I mean, what do you care if Matt Strom gets hurt? He's not going to be here next year.
No, but it's to me it's the idea of why not. You can tell Noah as a competitor probably wanted to get back out there and have a shot. How many guys have a shot at pitching a complete game shutout? And so in a meaningless season, it just feels like, why not? If you want to be the organization that we love our players and it's about we're hugging them and we're going to hopefully win another World Series on, hugs.
Well, I don't.
Smiles.
I mean, let me answer that right away. I don't.
I know. I agree.
And they
you
shouldn't.
don't, but it feels like that's what the organization's trying to do.
Well, I'm glad if yesterday is a sign of a change of approach, I'm happy to see
I'm all for it. And to me, loving your players is protecting them from themselves.
Yeah.
Like all these guys are, and I'm with you, John, on Noah Cameron. I'm a huge fan. In fact, thank you for the call. I'll go. I know a young man who's a very talented high school baseball player and is having, it wasn't ACL. Was it ACL or Tommy John? He was having one of those surgeries. He's a St. Joe kid. And Noah Cameron got word of it and sent him a personal message.
Yeah.
Telling him, hey, I went through that surgery. I think it was Tommy John, because I think Noah Cameron's had Tommy John. And said, I've been through that, hang tough. And it wasn't 5 seconds either.
No.
Right? And so and that's my answer to you is all the more reason to not send him out there.
Yeah.
97 pitches is enough. Like who'd they pull with 83 the other day?
Was it Lugo? Yeah, Lugo,
Yeah.
I think 84.
Fine.
Yes.
There's nothing to be had this year.
The same group of fans, if you think, well, why not? This game didn't matter. Look, he wants to finish his own game. Please don't tell me that you want Patrick Mahomes to make the decision on whether or not he's healthy enough for Week 1. It's the same people at the same. Well, but we got to keep him from hurting himself. But it's okay for Noah Cameron to say, I want to go out there and pitch to 110 or 115 pitches.
Yeah. I'm also of the opinion that
one.
Noah Cameron's had enough struggles this year that you want him leaving games feeling good as we come down the stretch. I don't want him. I don't want him to go out there and give up a couple of runs. Like I want him to, or he goes out there and he puts somebody on. Are they coming around to score with the bullpen they've got? Yes. I mean, case in point. So he finishes his inning and he leaves feeling good about himself.
Yep.
I hear where you're coming from, John. I'm not. What you're asking for is not stupid or outrageous.
And there was a lot of admission from John that's like,
yes,
it's an emotional thing, but
yes.
So he qualified.
913-3810810. James, you're in the program. What's going on, James?
Hey, gentlemen. Here's the thing. The thing I'm getting about those Royal season for me is I'm freaking confused because some of the things that they're doing just confuses the hell out of me. Because I was driving home basically last night when this game was on, and I'm thinking, we got a 4-0 lead. And I thought, but I was wrong, of course, that they were going to leave Noah Cameron to let him finish. If anybody got to second base, then I would have yanked him. But like you guys have been saying throughout this whole afternoon today, was you don't want to hurt the guy. He's at 97 pitches, all this other jazz. But my biggest thing is I'm just completely confused of what this team is doing. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody upstairs from the analytical department decided to call down and say, hey, you might want to yank this guy. And if I was the manager, which I'm not, but I can play manager today right now on this phone call and be like, you know what? I'm not listening to you clowns. I'm going to leave him in and see what happens because he has 4 runs to do.
3.
He had 3. It was 3-0.
Okay, but my thing is this though too. You're going to bring quote unquote these guys from the bullpen that are fresh and they blow it. And this guy's tired and he's kicking ass. That's all I got for you guys. I'm just confused at what the Royals are doing.
I'm confused at what your frustration is. I mean, other than what we always say, when we boil down what it is you're saying is, why didn't you win? Well,
sometimes the strategy of how they won is like, why do we still have Lucas Erceg? That shortstop should have never been. We should have never got him from Oakland. That's my opinion. I wasn't a fan of that. I wasn't a fan of Lugo going from a bullpen guy pitcher to a starter because there's times when I've watched his pitching performances and he'll give up.
Wait a minute. Hang on.
Leave him out there for.
So you're mad at the Padres for making that switch because that's where that happened when he became a starter. Was a year before he came to the Royals, and then when he was barreling towards being like third in the Cy Young, you're like, this is dumb. He should be in the bullpen.
I wasn't a big Lugo fan. That was just my personal opinion. But he'll go out there and pitch. He'll give up 7 runs in 2 innings, and he'll leave him out there for 7 innings. I'm confused at how they're managing this team sometimes.
He'll leave him out there, and James, I appreciate the call. What they're I can answer that. They leave them out there, and he's done that with Noah Cameron too. He's let Noah Cameron fight through 5 when he's given up 6 or 7 runs because they know they have to have length from their starters, but they also know there's a limit to how far they can take their starters. I mean, you said the analytics department, who you then called clowns, which I would object to. My frustration, like I really was. I wasn't just trying to jerk you around, James, when I'm like, I want to understand why you're confused, like what you're confused about. Because my frustration with the organization is they definitely went more analytics, a lot more analytics, and they have greatly invested in the analytics department. And Daniel Mack, his department, they've given him more and more people to work with, and I think that's fantastic. And I do think they're much more ready to take in what that department is telling them. But there are times that they don't go with the math, like not trading Michael Wacha. You know, and to your point about Lugo, I like Lugo. I like him a lot, right? But I wish they would have traded him last year instead of giving him more money in his mid to late 30s.
Yeah.
It's just a ticking time bomb. And so I would cash out on Michael Wacha for more young talent right now. That's where I'm confused. That's why I was curious. But there's no wishy-washy about Matt Quatraro. He gives a guy a chance to get into trouble. If they get in trouble early, he lets them try to pitch through it because he knows he needs length. And then you just hunker down and hope that the guy can find it, which Seth Lugo has done a number of times in a Royals uniform. So has Noah Cameron. Where they find it, they go ahead and fight through 5+ innings so you don't completely torpedo your bullpen for the games to come. And you say, all right, well, we may lose this one, but I'm not losing the war. I'm going to try to still have a decently fresh bullpen tomorrow to try to win that game. And he fights on. There's nothing to be confused about there. That's how he's done. But then there's also nothing to be confused about. No one's gone 125. No one's gone 115. Like, how many times has somebody gone beyond 100 pitches this year for the Royals? I mean, I think I'll bet it's less than 10 times.
Probably so.
And I'll can you run that on StatHead?
Yep.
I'll bet it's less than 10 times, and I would venture to say that maybe once somebody's got more than 110. But if I had to bet one way or the other, I'd bet no one's gone 110. I can remember a 103 or a 105, but not much. So you can be like, well, they need to pitch these guys longer. Well, they didn't pitch them very long, and Cole Reagans and Chris Bubich couldn't even make it through a third of the year. So, you know, hey, James, I hear your passion, and like I said, I love the passion. I love that you're a fan and you want to see them win. But like I said, a little frustration, and then let's move on, because this was a big picture move that they made with how they handled things yesterday, and I'm all about the big picture, because the little picture, the battle this year, toast, done. They're not going anywhere in 26. So don't screw up 27 trying to win some game that does not matter in 26. Dwayne, you're in the program. What's going on, Dwayne?
Hey, how are you, Soren?
Good, man. What's on your mind?
I got a concern and a question.
Okay.
My concern was today during Xavier Worthy's press conference thing, he said, it's pretty much the same offense. We're just tweaking it a little bit. And you remember last season, Andy Reid kept saying, we just got to clean things up.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to tweak things a little bit. And
can I play that? Can I play that cut so that everybody can know what you're talking about? Is that okay if I play that?
Absolutely.
What is it?
9.
Number 9. This is Xavier Worthy today when after practice he was asked if the offense is different.
I mean, the offense is pretty much the same. We're just fine-tuning and obviously dialing in on the fundamentals and obviously our plays that made us what we were. And we kind of cut a lot of things out. Obviously, Coach Reed probably talked about it. And we're just attacking the fundamental plays and making those plays on the field.
That's the one?
Yeah. And it just didn't work last year. What makes him think it's going to work now? Because if he doesn't commit to running the ball more, since we now have Kenneth Walker, I don't understand. I don't see how this offense is going to change. We're running back the same cast of characters other than Cyrus Allen and Kenneth Walker. That, both of them should be a prevalent part of the offense. But anyway, that was my concern, and I wanted to see get your thoughts on that. And also, my question was, do you think that knowing Andy Reid don't really like to start rookies, do you think if Cyrus Allen keeps showing out like he's doing that he might be able to take Tyquan Thornton's spot?
I think, and Dwayne, I'm going to let you go. I appreciate the call. 2 good questions there. Yes, I am concerned. Let me take them in order. And I wrote down Cyrus Allen, so I'll come back to that in a second. But yes, I am concerned by what I heard from Xavier Worthy, and I have been concerned since last season. I mean, we have talked about it. The Kenneth Walker move was great. I like it. I like upgrading the running back position. I really wish they'd done it 2 years ago when they could have gotten a running back for 2.5, 3 for $9. Like you could have Javonte Williams last year and this year for 3 years for less than what they're paying Kenneth Walker per year now because the price of running backs shot up. So they didn't play the market really great on that, but they at least addressed the running back position. But we've said it. We were concerned when at the league meetings, the ownership meetings, Andy Reid was there and he said, somebody asked him about, hey, Kenneth Walker did most of his damage with the quarterback under shotgun. He said, well, he's good at that, but he can run from shotgun too. I mean, he seemed defensive at the suggestion that he needed to get under center more. So I'm concerned. I feel better when I hear Brett Veach say, listen, we've got 3 guys in the middle that we need to use better. They're guys that can really knock some people down, and we got to try to use their skills better. Okay, good. They are thinking about running the ball. The general manager is talking about how they can knock some people over. That makes me feel better. But we're not going to know what this offense is really going to be until they play. But I'm hopeful. Here's where I think there may be a silver lining to what he said. The terminology is the same. They call things the same. But he said they've taken some things out.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff or something like
Taken
that.
a bunch of stuff out. Okay. Well, if what you took out was a bunch of RPO junk, like they've had under center runs in the playbook. They just didn't call them.
Yeah.
So Xavier Worthy can say what he said, and the Chiefs be planning on running with a lot more power. To be planning on putting guys under center. It's like, we're not running this stuff over here anymore. Take it out, set it aside. We're running this stuff. Now we got to get back to basic lineup and beat your guy football. And so I think it is possible for both things to be true. Cyrus Allen, I don't think has a chance to start early on because I don't think he can do enough in practice to gain the confidence. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But as confident, I remember me, Eric Eager, who's now with the Panthers, and Jeff Chania, before Sam McDowell came on board with our Red, Gold, and Bold, we that year we do all these bold and daring predictions and different things we do leading up. We're doing it right now on that podcast. And that year, I was pretty adamant that Rashee Rice was ultimately going to be the number 1 receiver for that team because I didn't think anybody else could be that guy. And it took a little bit, and Jeff and Eric were really right early on in saying, Andy Reid rookie receivers don't usually do a whole lot for Andy Reid. You can look at Deshaun Jackson, his time in Philadelphia, that he got pretty good production from Deshaun Jackson. That was a moment in time. But otherwise, most of them, it's kind of a year of apprenticeship. And if you look at Tyreek Hill, it was really the second half where Tyreek Hill started to be more of a wideout and less of kind of a gadget running back. I mean, he was more Dexter McCluster kick returner, hand him the ball 3 or 4 times, and less of a just put him outside and we're going to run routes. And so it took a little time. And then in year 2, he blew up as a wide receiver. Cyrus Allen is a much more polished product as a wide receiver coming to the Chiefs than Tyreek Hill was with his handful of games at Northwest Alabama State or wherever he ended up and the 10 minutes he had in Stillwater.
West Alabama, I think it was.
Yeah, West Alabama. And then, largely as a kick returner and running back at Oklahoma State. So I think there is the potential for him to get on the field quicker as a true wideout than we saw from Tyreek Hill. But I would say that the first 3 are going to be the first 3 unless one of them goes down. And then you look for Cyrus Allen to get his spots and to hopefully grow into a bigger role in the second half of the season. The Chiefs are kind of due to hit on a 5th rounder that's really, really good. I mean, the last one was what, Trey Smith? 6th rounder? I'm talking about like a later round pick.
Yeah.
Like that L'Jarius Sneed in the 4th. Like they're kind of due for one of those.
Yep.
Right? And so maybe Cyrus Allen's going to be that guy. It could not come at a better position.
Oh, boy.
Because it is a need position, no doubt. 913-3810810. We'll take a break, Steve. You're next up. When we come back, 913-3810810. You're in the program. You listen to the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Why did they lose? The theme today when it comes to the Kansas City Royals.
The old Chuck Noll line.
Stop losing. Okay? Losing is bad.
Put the pitcher in who gets everyone out. Because the move they should have made is unbeaten.
Unbeaten.
Never lost. I never heard a guy go, if he'd have gone with so-and-so, they probably would have lost.
Well, think about how dumb Dave Roberts is with the Dodgers.
Yep.
I mean, that team's going to lose like 60 games this year.
Jiminy
with all
Christmas.
that talent and all that money.
Team should never lose.
That guy's an idiot.
For sure.
There's that's the part that I think people forget, that like there was a way to win every game. No, there wasn't.
Yes.
There just isn't. Baseball's different like that. Again, I admire the passion. I don't know how you do it. Maybe I'm tired and worn out by life. I don't know.
The fun part
I was over that game. Cody Clemens may not have stepped on home plate, and I was over that game. That's how quick I got over that one.
The fun part for me is while I've got 15 people wanting to fire Matt Quatrero, I've got one guy who's like, they're going to be 500 this year. And I'm like, I
love that guy.
Don't know what's happening.
I love that guy. I also love that he tweets at you when the game's not even over.
Yep.
He doesn't even let it end, and he's like, see?
See, I told you, they're kicking the Twins' butt.
That guy.
Going to sweep the Rockies and be...
That one's not over, and he's already gone 3-0 against the Rockies.
Yes.
I mean, I love that. That's such a great fan.
Good stuff.
9133-810-810. Let's go to Steve. You're on the program, Steve. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Soren. Love you, brother.
Likewise, my friend. I didn't mean to, all choked up. Do you feel the love in the room? He's choked up? There's so much love in the room.
No, I've had people coming to me all day on. I coached the high school ball, thinking, no, they did the right thing.
Yeah.
That's your one shining gem. You don't leave him out there.
Yeah.
This thing. Oh, but that would have lit a fire. Could have lit a fire in this team for what?
Now your phone broke up for a second. Did you say you coach high school ball?
No, I coached Legion.
Legion ball. Okay.
Ball.
Yeah. Which I mean, like even I don't care what level you coach at. If your kids' team or whatever, it needs to get to where they're competitive, where you keep score. Like if you coach, like because I coached some real little soccer where you didn't keep score and that kind of, which was still frustrating because the dumbass on the other side of the field that's cherry picking, got their kid off sides on a 3-on-3 soccer. I'm like, this is your plan. He's doing a Hail Mary, pass it to midfield and then pass. I'm like, your kid's off sides. We don't have refs. Okay,
well,
so I don't know. That's just a sidebar. I will never get beyond that in my life. I will be dying of Alzheimer's and everything else. I'll be like, that son of a bitch with the kid and the cherry. I'll still be bitching about that. But when you get competitive, when the kids get to a level that they're keeping score and they want to win, if you coach any of that, you start to realize it's not all in my control. Like Matt Quatrero, there's not always that path that's going to take you to victory, at least not take you to victory and have your team be healthy and be able to stay on the field for an entire season. Like you can't throw your best pitcher every day for 9 innings.
And that's the point. Be healthy.
Yeah.
He's one shining gem we have.
Yes.
In our rotation.
By the way, Kurtis looked it up.
97 pitches is a lot.
Yeah, Steve, Kurtis looked it up. How many 100-plus outings this year?
18.
So more than I thought. How many over 110?
None. Nobody over 108.
So 108 is tops.
Yeah.
Okay.
7 from Waka, 5 from Cameron, 3 from Lugo.
So, like, if you wanted to, if let's say that by that we say 108 is the most you can, he's going to let you go.
Yeah.
He would have taken them out, and I know everyone's like, "Well, just let him get the first batter." Okay, you still need 2 more relievers.
Yes.
Like
why?
That's like what are we doing? Why would you run him out there, risk him, and have him do another up down when no, he's done.
If he throws,
you're finished. Sit down and keep doing what you're doing and be healthy next year.
If he throws an efficient 12-pitch 9th inning, he still eclipses or that's still a season high in pitches. If he just throws 12,
yeah.
When you throw, and it's repetitions on your arm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry. It was phenomenal. I thought, thank you. I appreciate all you guys do. And again, I'll leave you with this one.
Okay.
Thank you for all your coverage of everything. You turned on to World Cup soccer.
Oh, good, good.
I thought Kansas City did a phenomenal job, and thank you very much for all you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you, Steve. Have yourself a great weekend. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. How could you not?
Yep.
Like, talk about what is the biggest sporting event in the world, and it's happening in our town. And I'm with you. I think Kansas City shined. And if you heard Mark Donovan and you heard Kathy Nelson from down at Big 12 Media Days, that was a couple of weeks ago. I was in Tahoe, and Todd was down at Big 12 Media Days. And I was at the American Century Championships in Lake Tahoe. And we had on Kathy Nelson talking about how the NCAA was reaching out to her. Mark Donovan said the NCAA reached out to him about wanting Kansas City bidding in this cycle because they're going to determine 31 to 37. The bids are going out now. And that even though they haven't even put a shovel in the ground and all we've got are 6 renderings on their website, at least publicly that they put out there, the NCAA has said, we want you bidding for this run of Final Fours. And a big part of that is because of how well Kansas City did as a city in hosting the World Cup. Because they don't even know what the building's going to look like, but they went, well, that city kicks ass. That's a place where we want to go and have a major event. Joe, you're in the program. What's going on, Joe?
Yes, I want to go back to the guy who called you about Cameron pitching a complete game and how great that would be to have a memory to tell his son in future years. I'm thinking, why aren't pitchers conditioned to pitch more than 97 innings today? It's 97 pitches.
Yeah.
It seems like even as recently as say Verlander and Jamie Moyer, those guys used to pitch 250, 275 innings and throw 20 complete games a year. And now a guy gets to 97 pitches and all of a sudden his arm's going to fall off.
Well, so let me can I try to answer that for you?
Yeah, sure.
So here's the deal. Number one, did you hear me when I talked about Noah Cameron sending the video to the kid who's having Tommy John surgery? And he said, I had that surgery. I had to go through it as well. He's already had it once. Okay. Yeah. And more than half of the pitchers that are drafted, or something like half of the pitchers, or some ridiculously high amount, have already had that surgery because they've never thrown harder in the history of the game. Everybody is seeking velocity. Everybody is working to throw harder. And then they also now have the technology. My buddy runs, one of the baseball academies here in town, and he's got all the cameras and can check the spin rate. So everybody's trying to break off the curve, break off the slider. I'm going to let you go, and I appreciate the call, Joe. They are all seeking spin rate and velocity like they never did in the past. Okay, so they're putting more stress on that arm, and everybody goes at starting pitching like a reliever, max effort all the time, as opposed to pacing themselves, because that's what it takes to get big league hitters out these days.
All right, before Matt Strom, who was the last pitcher to give up a 2-out walk-off grand slam with a 3-run lead? Brought to you by Twin Peaks.
I'm going to tell you what, it's a clown show in here. It's an absolute clown show. Put your red floppy shoes on.
I get my seltzer bottle.
Red rubber nose.
Clowns
Clown
to the left
fest
of
in
me,
here.
jokers to the right.
Here
I am.
Back in
Stuck
the middle
with you.
Yeah. How are you, Danny? You clown?
Doing just fine. Feeling like a clown and a joker and a prankster and a
Midnight something.
midnight toker.
Yeah, that's you for sure.
Yeah, a long time ago.
It is a little Danny Unleashed, brought to you by our good friends at Easton Roofing. By the way, was walking through the neighborhood, Easton Roofing truck. I want to point out that there are two different roofing companies, trucks, that apparently live in my neighborhood. And it's always great when the Easton Roofing trucks roll through. Like, you know that, like, when you have neighbors and people are like, no, I'm calling them. I'm calling Easton Roofing.
I had a guy come to the door the other day. Seemed like a nice young man, 22, 23 years old.
Doing some work in your neighborhood.
Yeah. Did you notice you got a couple shingles missing up on top of your, they probably weren't missing. I don't know, but you can't see them when you're standing right there. I said, I got this covered.
I got a guy.
I got a guy, so I'm going to save your time. That's what I do with the people who call and they get you and they want to buy your property or something. Any one of those things. I say, just directly first, I've said, hey, I'm going to save your time. I'm not interested. You save your spiel. I'm not upset or anything, but just move on because you're just wasting your time. So
no one tries to buy my property because I don't have any, but someone's been trying for about 8 years to buy a property I don't own.
Yeah, with the text
2450 Elmwood Avenue, and they think I'm Denny.
Oh,
hey, Denny.
Nice.
Okay,
that's not my property.
No,
and gone.
No, but the folks at Easton Roofing, it is funny. There's a Real Wives of Our Neighborhood chat that's on, that all the ladies are on, and it's funny whenever somebody goes, "Hey, anybody got a roofing company?" Yeah, Easton. And so the trucks were in there this yesterday, as a matter of fact. So if you want the best, call Easton Roofing. Joe and his team are absolutely fantastic. Roofing, both commercial and residential. They do the biggest buildings. They had one that was like that giant, like they do them high, but there's one that I don't even remember how many acres of building it was. They do those. There's no project that's too big. Easton Roofing, also no project that's too small, like my mom's house. Happy to do a little Prairie Village home. Easton Roofing, call 913-257-5426. Talk to a real live person. They do siding, they do gutters, they do it all. Find them online at eastonroofing.com. Danny, how are you, buddy?
Doing just fine, Soren.
Did you get all upset with that Royals loss yesterday?
Had to admit,
Did you shake your fist at Matt Quatrero in the TV for going to Matt Strom?
I had kind of the same reaction that Ryan Lefevre did.
Unbelievable.
I
love the call, but Todd Lebo at 2 outs said, how are they going to find a way to lose this one? It is so believable.
You hit a batter. They just don't have this year, another year, maybe it'll be different. They don't have anyone who comes out of the bullpen that you really ever have any faith in. There's no matter what the situation, no matter how it starts, no matter if it's two down, nobody out, it's Lucic Urseg. He's done this before. He's got pretty good stuff. He's done it in the past a little bit,
but he's lost all year.
But he's
been
done
lost
it all
year.
year. Steven Cruz, whatever.
Your guy,
Matt Strom. I mean, no, not there. Come on, Matt. I know. I wasn't upset with him, but when is enough? I mean, the guy gives up runs every time.
But who would you have rather seen?
Anyone.
Yeah, that's where Jason was at, and that is,
anybody else. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't matter. He's just proved over and over again, and now clearly it's in his head. You don't throw that pitch on 0-2. I guess I give him.
Like, was he trying to?
I guess I give him the credit that he didn't throw an non-competitive pitch. I hate that worse, but
it looked like he was trying to bury one low and outside, and he didn't. He got too much of the plate.
Listen, he's either old or hurt. I mean, one or the other. And
he missed time, and when he's come back, he's been awful. So maybe he is hurt.
Can I defend this? Like, if you think there are reports out there that people are talking about acquiring Matt Strom, I don't know how and I don't know why, but good play. Like MLB trade rumors had somebody, guys that were of note and interest. Jeff Passan had him in his list of like 100 guys to watch being moved at the deadline. So if there is potentially some interest, I mean, I get the idea of let's put him into a leverage situation. Let's see if we can showcase that twice, and maybe we can get something for him before Monday's deadline. That to me has to be what the thinking is.
Well, they've clearly got to combo some people together. I don't think they're going to do. I think it's going to be disappointing. I don't. After last Saturday's game, a week ago Saturday, on Sunday, I was sitting there looking at the Royals box score, and I said, there it is. Those three guys. Put them together. Walker, Lynch, Lang. Those three. Here we go. Here's your package. You should get something pretty good for that.
Yeah.
And Daniel Lynch it's never going to be better for him. I mean, I don't see that. Yeah. I don't see staying power in that. Next year, he'll be Lucas Erceg. He'll be coming in here, last year, a fine year for Daniel Lynch IV. Struggling a bit this year with a 5.76 ERA. Seems to not have found the magic he had last year. That's what I expect out of him.
It's one of those things. I'm going back 50 years, and the sport was different back then. But I remember thinking, reading the history of what Cedric Callis did when he got here. He'd get some guy, he'd play better than they thought, and then they'd move him. Whether it's Richie Scheinblum or somebody. And
the best one was the one.
Lou Piniella.
I think it's how they got Freddie Patek. They brought in a pitcher. I don't know if he came. I think it was. They got Freddie from the Pirates, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for a pitcher, I believe.
There was a guy who had 200 Ks, and I forget his name, but when you look at the best strikeout years in Royals history, there's this guy who pitched for the Royals for 1 year, and he threw 200 Ks, and Tallis went flipping him.
Oh, Bruce Dalcanton.
No,
with Jim Campanis, Jackie Hernandez, and Bob Johnson.
That's who went for Freddie.
Yeah, and so none of those are pitchers.
That's not it. That's not it.
It
was somebody else. I can't remember, but he was here for 1 year.
Yeah.
And he struck out 200. Like, this organization would be like, well, we can't move him. Like, right now, I mean, we got to keep him. Like, I really am. I'm really quite. I guess I can't say it officially, but if the trade deadline goes and all they move is Lane Thomas and John Schreiber, then like the whole we're going to be more transactional and we're paying attention to the math is right out the window.
Yeah, it will. I don't think it will.
Bob Johnson. Look up Bob Johnson. I think that's
Bob Johnson is a pitcher. Now that I think about it,
I think that's who it was. He had 1 year with the Royals and struck out 200.
Let me see.
See what trade he was
looking
involved
for some
in.
Other.
Bob Johnson is a pitcher. I just thought of that again. So.
Yeah, I don't know. It's bothering me.
Yep, that's it. 206.
What did they do with him?
206 Ks.
Look at his transactions and see they flip him.
With the Royals?
Yeah. Look down on his transactions.
Yeah, they traded. He was
in the trade
part of
for
the Freddie Patek trade.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I was right. So it was Freddie Patek.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know. Okay.
It wasn't a 1-for-1. It was three guys. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Three for three.
And Bob Johnson didn't do squat later, did he? No, because you want to know why? Because pitchers' arms fall off.
Yeah.
So move the ones you got now. Especially the ones I'm with you, Danny.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is the last, and this could be the last good gasp of Michael Wacha too.
I agree.
But he's pitching well this year. All the teams care about is whether he can make 10 good starts for them. They got to trade Wacha. Sorry. I think the problem is that there are quite a few starting pitchers that are available this year. There are a lot. He's not like at the top of the heap, but still.
But to your point, put him with Daniel Lynch.
Yeah.
And now you're solving a lot of problems. I mean, that's the exact deal that the Royals made in 2017, their last gasp of competing when they went to the Padres. They got two relievers and a starter.
Yep.
I don't even remember all the name, who it was.
Maurer and...
Yeah, Brendan Maurer. Yeah. But anyway, Dayton Moore made that deal. I mean, there are teams that are like, hey, we need a lot. Okay, well, we got an answer for you. And to your point, like Lang, Lynch, and Wacha would solve a lot of if you're sitting there and looking and you're like, listen, we just need to get there and not burn out the guys that we're going to use in the postseason. And if Daniel Lynch's numbers appear like he could be a lefty that you'd bring in the playoffs, Michael Wacha is probably, if you're good enough to win playoff series, you're probably not going to need him. But you never know who might go down.
Yep.
And so if you had to start a playoff game with Michael Wacha, fine.
Yeah.
You also,
Have a
you might
fine starter.
you play games where if your starter gives up 3, a lot of times you're just going to say, "That's it. It's the 3rd inning. It's too late. I need Walker.
Yeah.
I need Walker now."
Or he gets
you
the
don't try
Chris-
to ride it out and hope that the guy, because the game could be over and the games are too valuable.
He gets the Chris Young start in a playoff series. Like that's one of those things.
Or like Danny said, he's the guy.
Yep.
Okay, this guy doesn't have it. He's out. Walker, get in there and eat me some innings and hold
Right,
the
and
fort.
maybe we come back.
If we're sitting here in October of 2027, looking back, I mean, what percentage chance are we going to go? Said they should have traded Walker. And look what happened this year, and they weren't good. I mean, it's a pretty high likelihood that they're going to look back at this move.
What percentage chances are they going to say, "Boy, are we glad we didn't trade Walker"?
Oh, very.
Here we are in the heat of the pennant race.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we're likely to be sitting there going,
well, here's my fear is that when I hear Jeff Passan say all the time, well, they're not going to do that. You can't do that. You have Bobby Witt. You have Bobby Witt prime years. You got to be going for it. When I hear him say that all the time, Jeff Passan talks to everybody. You know what my fear is that that's exactly what he has been told by the Royals. No, we can't ship it off. No, we've got to keep everybody because we've got prime Bobby Witt. Yeah, that is an absolute killer. Like you're going to muddle along on some, well, if we get everybody healthy for a whole 162 games, maybe we can get to 86 wins and find our way into a wild card. That's your plan. Yeah. That's the plan, is to tape it together instead of being like, I know we got Bobby. Like, you know what that is? That is, we're never going to have another player like Bobby Witt again. We're so lucky. We so back-assed into that. We have no idea where he comes from and how to find him. So we got to do everything we can in this moment because we'll never have another star again.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it feels like.
And if you didn't know...
You want to be the Angels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know exactly...
that's the mindset that's a great comp. I mean, I know other people have made the Trout comp, but the Angels have always been like, well, let's just get a little bit more around Trout. And you know what? They've sucked year after year after year after year.
Still have not won a playoff game. And if you didn't know whether or not it came from somebody at the top of the Royals, would you look back and say, with the same organization that didn't trade Seth Lugo at the peak of his value, doesn't that sound like something that organization would say to a reporter? We can't blow the opportunity. I mean, it fits the profile of what we've seen from this team and those kind of moves in the past couple of years.
It's unfortunate that we have to plow the same ground, but I said it before. They should not be viewing 24 as
a core,
as the start of something big. Yeah, it was a nice, happy,
Royals.
Joyous year where things fell into place, revived the people's interest in your team, accepted for that, and then go on building a real team. And I think they've taken a step back in that regard. It's going to really ding J.J. Piccolo with me when he has done nothing but good work, really, from the start of his. But if they just sit around at the trade deadline with 23 teams basically alive in their minds for the playoffs, that's never been. You're never going to get a trading market like that, where only you and 6 other teams are definitely toast.
Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. You're going to see a team that's 3 under sell.
Well, the Tigers did it a couple of years ago when they made the playoffs.
They made the playoffs.
Yeah.
But you're going to see
it was
it
the right moves
because they're going to go like, listen, I'm not like I really think you've got to stop worrying about what they're thinking in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Like I cannot stress. I mean, I've watched Moneyball a million times. Every time it comes on, I find myself watching it the rest of the way. And I don't know why it hasn't jumped at me more, but it so jumped at me this time, 3 or 4 nights ago, whenever it was whenever we had a cool spell, because I know I was on the porch watching it. And when he says, Paul, you're going on, or Pete, he calls it's Paul DePodesta kind of, but it's Pete. He goes, Pete, you're going on the trip with the team. He's like, why don't you go? Because I can't be too close to these guys. I got to trade them. I got to cut them. I got to do whatever it is. And I'm like, they just get, the Dayton, he just loved them so much.
Yeah.
And I think it was part of the success in 15, but that was such a small moment in time when the Yankees and Red Sox were reloading and really
Astros weren't up yet.
They can think that it was because they loved them. You know what it was? They had a mountain of top 5 picks who frankly all underachieved.
Yes, they did.
But they had a mountain of top 5 picks. You're supposed to get to the playoffs after you've been picking top 5 for a decade, and the Red Sox and Yankees reloaded, and you gamed the game. You were the first one to finally go, we can do Mariano Rivera times 3 and win some playoff games and even win some regular season games. And now everybody's copied that. And unless you've got that new way of looking at it, but they seem to think it's because they loved him so much. And it was the last thing on the list that actually contributed to it.
And something I think I might have said earlier this week, I can't remember, but if this team is steamrolling toward 95 losses plus, if it was the first year of an acknowledged rebuild, you'd be like, all right. But not only is it not that, it's not even the year that's going to lead to the rebuild. It's going to be the year before the year that may eventually. They're coming off a year you want to be year 1, and it's not even year 0 yet because they're going to try to win it again next year.
I've always said the worst team in sports.
Far behind.
The worst team in sports is not the team with the worst record. The worst team in sports is the team that's got a mediocre record that hasn't realized it's over.
Yeah.
Right? And that they got to get worse before. Like the worst team in the NBA right now is the Golden State Warriors. Because they keep trying and grabbing 36-year-old Jimmy Butler. And I said, like, why are you putting another guy who's going to be hurt with your other hurt star? You're already hoping Steph Curry can just be healthy for your playoffs. If you can back ass to the playoffs and get there, then maybe we'll have everybody healthy and go. That's the worst team in the NBA because they still got to get worse before they can start getting better. Well, the Royals are in that. I'm with you. They're looking
like year 1's going to be 2028, not 2027.
At least the Warriors have won championships. And they maybe have, they've won multiple championships. Those players are there. You can sell to your fans that, we know it's kind of a pipe dream, but let's try to ride it out with Steph and the boys. Maybe a miracle happens again. We've already got 3. Did they get 3 or 2?
No, they got
3.
They got 4.
4.
Did they get 4?
They won 15,
got 1 on
17,
each side
18,
of Durant, right?
And then they came back.
2 with Durant.
So they got 4. They get plenty of collateral. The Royals have the 1. And then they have
none in this.
And then they have the playoffs in that one setup. I mean, they're the NFL example is the Steelers. They for the last 10 years they've just been hanging on to being barely good enough. And they finally realized, hey, that we gotta move on.
Well, and what I don't understand is how can you watch Dobnak, who, by the way, look at his minor league numbers. He was nothing special in AAA, and I think he will be pedestrian, right? But he's been fantastic.
Yeah.
And so clearly somebody got something to him that like, okay, do this. And he's doing it and it's working. But they seem to be so terrified when you hear JJ say, well, if we trade Michael Walker, we got to find a guy. Yeah. There's a Dobnak everywhere. I mean, you can facilitate the game. Walker's not dominating the game.
And you know what you also are going to say to the people in the clubhouse? You failed. That's why your buddies had just got traded.
Yes. Which needs to happen.
It's your fault. Okay.
Because we talked about this at the Seth Lugo. They didn't trade Seth Lugo, and they announced a contract extension. And we listened to him. We all love Vinny. Well, Clubhouse is jacked. Isn't that what he said? Or fired up? I think it was jacked.
It was jacked. Yeah.
Clubhouse is jacked.
He said it was a baller move.
Yeah, it was a baller move. Okay. Well, where's your baller play?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, because like the organization gave you that. Well, now you didn't get it done last year after the baller move, and you've sucked this year. So you know what? You don't get another baller move. You know what you get? You get your ass traded.
And what they're probably going to try to sell us after the season is, is an injury-ravaged season, and you sucked before everybody got hurt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You were toast before.
You've actually been better with guys hurt.
Yes.
That's the one positive. Sometimes, there's this.
Yeah, you've got Tyler Tolbert playing better than Bobby Witt did before he went down. Right now, and he can't win any freaking game.
He's trying to go.
I still can't believe it when I look at the box score, and it's like he's hitting 340.
Yeah,
Tyler Tolbert.
Yeah, but he's hitting 340, and I think right now he has 20 hits,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's not a big sample. He could be hitting 270 in 4 days, but
and it should be pointed out. See how many hits he's got. I want to see if I'm right on that. If he's got 20 hits, because I think
24.
24. Okay, he's got 24 hits. But let's keep in mind that's really only like about 16 because 8 times he's been picked off.
And I would plead with whoever is in charge of it, can we just get somebody else to throw the meaningless inning?
No, I love him. I enjoy it.
I don't.
I love it.
I don't. The man can throw a baseball, he's not going to get hurt if he throws 70.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. First of all, I want him to pitch like 4 more times because he's going by like Bailey Falter. His number of appearances is growing, and I love it. I love the way he leans. I love how serious he takes the look in for the pitch. And he's just throwing the same ethos every time, but he dangles the arm. You can tell he has looked in a mirror and figured out how he wants to look.
He's got
when
some
he
work
does
to go to go
It'd
the
be
next
fine
step,
if
though.
the ethos was if it occasion, but he gets bombed every time.
I love it.
I don't.
I love it. Hey, what would happen if a regular Joe went out there and pitched? Now you know.
Well, here's what I think you're missing
How hard
about.
is it to hit a home run when there's no
but
velocity coming in? Now you know.
Here's what I think
But
what you're
he
missing
could
about
pitch
Tolbert.
better. That's all I'm saying. Throw the ball.
Nah, don't get hurt.
His ERA is 20.
valuable.
His
Not gonna
ERA is
It's too valuable.
His
He's not going to
E-
get hurt throwing 70.
his ERA is 25.07, but his FIP is 16.82. So he's got some bad luck.
Bad luck.
Some bad luck.
I don't know.
By the
where
way,
that bad luck.
he'd
comes
have to
from.
get 4 more appearances to pass Cole Reagan.
Well,
so.
his
Let's
FIP,
go.
His FIP is
Well,
probably.
now we know what we're shooting for.
His FIP is probably lower because it's almost impossible to get any exit velocity on the balls you strike.
That's
against him.
why it is must-watch television when he comes in the game for me.
It's must leave television.
You don't have like to me. It's like slowing down for the accident. Whoa, wait a minute. He's out. We got to hang on.
No, it's
What's going on over there? Is that an EMT over there?
I want to see a different accident. It was
comes the meat wagon.
It was funny a couple times. I get it.
No,
but
you shut your mouth,
It's
Danny.
happened too many times.
You can
and
leave right now if
here
need
he
be.
comes again.
You will not besmirch the name of the pitcher, Tyler Tolbert.
Also,
the
if you want to
Shohei
dump on Tyler,
Ohtani of the Royals.
if you want to dump on Tyler Tolbert for getting picked off all the time, I'm all ears. But Tyler Tolbert, the arm, is beyond reproach.
Well,
in this
the
studio.
the other problem for poor Tyler is the fact that this all came really before he started playing. So now it kind of, sullies his record a little bit because he's also the guy who throws the ephus, and not effectively.
Well,
It'd be a nice story if he hadn't come in and been ephus man.
I'm done arguing this point, but I will say this from a real baseball aspect of it, he does look like they found a utility guy. I mean, because he can play short, he can play the outfield. Like that is a nice. You've got one of your 26. Like you've got more than that, but you can be like, okay, this is.
Right,
a piece of the puzzle we don't have to go
look
look
for.
for.
Runs too.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it doesn't.
He banged it off the wall. He almost went oppo home run with that overhang in Minnesota.
Right.
He was about 8 feet away from going with an oppo home run. So, I mean, I genuinely like the player Tyler Tolbert. I'm sick of all their crappy base running, and I'm really sick of Matt Cotrero talking about being aggressive like that. There's some base coaches got to go. Period. End of discussion on this team, but.
Right,
Yeah.
and Tolbert, he's doing himself a disservice. If he just kept his butt planted on the bag, he'd be more highly regarded right now because he wouldn't have got picked off several
Run
times.
until you're out.
Well, there is clearly an organizational philosophy of go because he's out there pushing the limits. Or, I mean, if Matt Cotrero is telling him stop making base running outs and they keep making base running outs, there is your reason to start talking about making a change at Matt Cotrero. But as he comes out there to the post-game interviews like, we got to be aggressive. I mean, you're going to get out sometimes when you're being aggressive, and we're going to be aggressive. If that's their organizational philosophy, and that is what they said at the end of the year press conference last year, is that, we've got to be better on the base passes there. We've got to make more things happen. This seems like what their plan was. So whoever put that plan together needs to be not listened to anymore because it's ridiculous.
I'm with you there. Their base running has been embarrassing this year.
Danny Klinkskill is with us. He's brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing. Did you know they offer siding repair and full siding replacement? They even have software where you can check the siding out before you buy it on your own home. They take your home and they can show you exactly what it's going to look like. Designed to hold up to Kansas City weather. You can even get a paint fade warranty up to 15 years. It is the perfect way to make your house look better, and Easton Roofing is the perfect company to put it on. Find them online at eastonroofing.com.
All right, the Twin Peaks, end of the hour. Answer before Matt Strom, who was the last pitcher to give up a 2-out walk-off grand slam with a 3-run lead. The walk-off granny with
For
a
the
3-run
Royals?
lead. Yes. No, just in baseball.
Ever?
There've only been 16.
Yeah.
Well, what happened
Only
last
16.
night had never happened.
Yeah, with an 0-2
Ever.
0-2 count.
0-2 count.
Yeah. Now I noticed this. If you go on now, maybe whoever posted that, and I saw a couple people post
Randy
that.
had it, I know.
If they use Baseball Reference for that or StatHead, they only really have reliable pitch count stuff back to 88. So anything before that, unless it was a playoff game, there's no reliable data. But if someone like Stats Inc. or somebody else did that, then they probably have a little bit better search engines than I have.
It also
access to.
It also included the fact that it was. The team had been there were a couple other toss-ins. Team had been no hit for at least 6 innings. Anyway,
First 2 batters
it was
were
the first
retired.
time it ever happened.
Yeah.
The answer is I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have any idea.
Yeah, no way to guess this one.
It was a former Royal who gave up a heartbreaking but eventually not crushing home run in the postseason. How about Ryan Madsen? 2018, he was then pitching for the Nationals. 2018 at Wrigley Field. David Bote down 3-0 walk-off granny to a B-O-T-E. I think it's Bote or maybe it's Boat.
It's pronounced Bodie.
It's a Bodie. David Bodie.
Wow, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
I remember it was.
Is that
it was
a typo?
Nope. B-O-T-E.
I follow the baseball, and I have no idea.
I haven't. Right.
It was. I've seen the highlight a lot because it was an ESPN game of the week.
Oh, it was a regular season game.
Yeah, regular season game.
Oh yeah, you mentioned.
I mentioned that the sometimes the stuff doesn't, and then I mentioned Madsen gave up a bomb. He gave the bomb to Royd guy, Blue
Bautista.
Jays. Yeah, Jose Bautista, that tied Game 6. But yeah, Bodie, dead center, grand salami.
Okay,
what they call the ultimate grand slam.
So it was Ryan Madsen. Was
Ryan
the answer?
Madsen.
Ryan Madsen. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Danny, are you excited about Chiefs training camp?
I'm excited that among the football players, nobody has gotten hurt, and we seem to have no real drama. That's what I look for early in any training camp. Carolina Panthers have already lost their best linebacker in the first day of practice, so you don't want anything like that to happen. And besides that, it's a lot of it is just rinse and repeat. Yeah, pay attention. I read Pete Sweeney's little blurbs. He's got eyes on it, but you're playing without contact. I'm most concerned about people not getting hurt, I guess, and people haven't gotten hurt yet. So they seem to be throwing some screen passes. I guess that's encouraging. The trend has been not to throw many screen passes. They've got somebody who should be good to do it. So yeah, I'm not excited, but I'm happy that we've gotten no real bad news except for what's gone off the football field.
Right. I want you to hear this. Did you hear Xavier Worthy today?
I did not.
Okay, this is Xavier Worthy asked if the offense is different.
I mean, the offense is pretty much the same. We're just fine-tuning and obviously dialing in on the fundamentals and obviously our plays that made us what we were. And we kind of cut a lot of things out. Obviously, Coach Reed probably talked about it, and we're just attacking the fundamental plays and making those plays on the field.
Coach Reed's going to talk. He's going to talk about it now with you. He'll have a couple of words. They've taken. It's pretty much the same.
Cut a lot of things out.
Which, by the way, what we're all looking for as far as a change goes is them running with power. Which Xavier Worthy, his part of the offense, it's not. If you've got the offensive lineman going, we're not doing anything different in the run game. Okay, now we've got a problem. Okay, so it can be the same for the wide receiver and be different for the running backs. But should there be concern with him saying, well, we've taken some things out?
Yes, sir.
Can you, somebody turn Danny's mic on? By the way, we're going to watch Thunderdome try to figure out. Curtis, will you?
There we go.
Okay.
I'm up. I think it's what it seems like they're saying is that we weren't effective, maybe not because there was a attention to detail, but because we can't understand the details. So let's get rid of some of the details. And basic it up.
Which they did at the end of the 23 season.
That doesn't
And it worked.
After that Bengals game, they went back to what Patrick Mahomes said, the plays that work.
So, I don't know. I think we're looking for more of a change than we're probably going to get in the offense. Maybe we'll be wrong. Like I said, it was noted that they had an effective screen pass. You'd think that Kenneth Walker, that would be a real potential for a weapon, and especially a weapon you could use, and then you have it as a decoy, where he's got you really got to pay attention.
You'd think, but he's never had 300 yards passing.
Yeah,
They put the over/under at 299.5 on his receiving yards.
They need more than that out of him, because I just don't think you're not gonna see him average 22 carries a game or something. That's just not what Andy Reid does, and probably with Patrick Mahomes, you shouldn't.
I'm with you, certainly in spirit there on what you're saying. I do think, I like to ask the question the way we play it a lot of times is like, all right, they're 15-2, they're the 1 seed headed into the playoffs. How'd they get here? Well, I will tell you one of them, I'm with you, is there's 1,800 yards from scrimmage from Kenneth Walker.
Yes.
And 500 plus.
Yeah,
is
it's like
catching
12,
the ball.
it's like 1,200 and 600 or something like that. I mean, to surpass 300, it's less than 20 yards catching a game.
Well, can we also, here's the other thing that I think needs to change with Andy Reid that we have not said yet. So here's a fresh hot take for you to put in your notebook down there. Andy is a ride the guy till he drops and then ride the next guy with the running back position. I mean, that can't be. He's got to come off that. Like, one of the things I would look at, the Lions have been pretty good the last 3 years. We did it for There Can Be Only One Question. I asked, how many yards is Isaiah Pacheco going to run for this year? Right? And I didn't say for the Lions. I just said this year because I'm not even convinced he's going to make the team. But right now, if you look at depth charts, he's listed as the number 2 running back for the Lions. The number 2 running back for the Lions the last 3 years has rushed for 750, 750, and 900 yards. Right? So if you're going to be that power team, you're not just giving it to one guy and running him into the ground. Like the Chicago Bears, Swift was the lead dog, and he went for 12 or 1,300, but they got 700 from Monangai, or however you pronounce the 7th rounder. Emmett Johnson needs to get the ball too. They need to run the ball plentifully. So I'm with you. I don't want to see any running back going for 300-plus carries, but I would like to see 300-plus carries from the team.
Well, I probably would like to see at least a couple hundred carries for Kenneth Walker, because I just don't think they're going to run the ball as much as we want. So he's the best you've had in the entire time.
Well, but can we not breeze by? Can we not breeze by? I agree with you.
Yeah.
But can we agree that would be a mistake? That they need to run the ball 300 times if they're going to adjust their offense. They need to run the football.
Agreed.
Because 300 times is not even 20 a game.
No.
I agree with you. I'm just looking at a career arc of your head coach. Yeah. And I just don't think he's going to change that much. I think he's going to change a little bit.
17.5 carries per game.
So
300.
They absolutely need an effective running, especially they may be in a mode where Mahomes is kicking off some rust and and right now,
and won't be able to.
It's going to be a surprise if the receivers are good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I heard
that's going to be a surprise.
Yeah, and to your point about Reid, I once heard someone say the people are fiercely themselves, and a 68-year-old head coach, successful 68-year-old head coach who's called plays for 30 years, is not likely at this point in his career to go, I'm going to do something different. And maybe starts to do. My fear is if he starts, say they have this idea, they're going to do that. First game, it doesn't work. Does he fall right back into what he was because that's what's comfortable?
And what does he, when he likes to have fun too. I mean, he calls some fun stuff. So if you're naturally inclined to throw the football and you like fun plays, a fun play usually isn't a dive.
No, but you know what?
Designed.
By the way, you know how many times they ran the ball last year?
300.
430. So I don't think we have to worry about it. And 94 of them were from non-running backs. So they still ran it 336 times with the running backs.
Which probably isn't. We're probably not multiplying
Almost
correctly
exactly
with
20.
17 games, because that's not even 20 a game.
Yeah, it's almost right at 23-36.
Yeah, it's almost
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. So that's not that. Well, how many plays are we usually good for these
65.
days in the NFL? 60-ish?
Yeah. Well, especially they make it longer because they don't drop the ball and they don't throw it far and they don't run far.
Yeah.
So there are no possessions in a Chiefs game.
Right.
Like then, honestly, I would like to see them do something different because they're freaking boring.
Mhm.
I hate to say it, but if Patrick Mahomes isn't, throwing a ball while horizontal, they have become ungodly boring to watch.
Yeah.
Like you watch the game, you're like, we're an hour 5 into it, and it's already halftime,
Mhm.
and it's
They've had the ball
10-7,
twice.
and no one's punted.
Yeah.
And
They've had the ball twice because they always defer.
And if you have a successful drive, that seems exciting because you scored. But the Chiefs they haven't been creative. The creative part has been when they've gone off script, and because they have Patrick Mahomes, it makes it seem like that's exciting.
Almost every big pass play last year was Mahomes having to be Superman. And to your point about, Andy Reid likes to do some fun plays. You know what gives you an opportunity to do fun plays? Getting first downs. And you know what helps you get first downs? Running the football. So the more there was that debate about who's
Also
more valuable to the Chiefs, Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce. I was like, yeah, Tyreek Hill has the big-time plays, but you know why he gets them sometimes? Because Travis Kelce gets first downs. And I think if they want to have the fun plays, you can't get a fun play if you're 3 and out every time.
Also, fun plays, 2nd and 2 and 2nd and 3 is a good time to run a fun play.
Yes.
Because you sort of have a down to work with, as it were. So you got a 6 or 7 yard run, it's time for a fun play.
Got to do one to get the other.
So that'd be good. But until we see real football, we're just not going to know.
We're not going to know till the regular season. Like we did a thing last week when camp opened. Like, what do we want to see answered in camp? And I said, let me take this off the board. The Andy Reid scheme. There's nothing to be gleaned from what his scheme is going to be at camp. I think the one thing we could see is like they pretty much at camp. They'll run it here and there, but it is almost OTAs and minicamps are just passing. And training camp, they do more running, but it's kind of like, no, we'll run, but what we got to get good at is throwing it. And I wouldn't mind if we do see some running of the football, which is, I know why teams don't do it because it's dangerous. Guys in piles and everybody in there, you just kind of want to stay away from it. But I do think they've got to get some chemistry with Kenneth Walker, and he's got to get a feel for it somewhere.
And if you're talking about the fact that you have some guys in the middle who can knock people over let them knock some people over. I mean, I know we don't have much hitting, but when it's a day when you have hitting, how about we run the football?
Yeah.
How about we make those our fun plays? Bowling over defensive linemen. That's fun.
I think Andy Reid has obviously been one of the greatest offensive minds this game has ever
Yes.
known. I'll preface what I'm about to say after that. But he also has benefited from the fact that going back to his time with Lavelle Edwards in college football and now all the way through the NFL, until the last about 3 years, defenses just kept going, but you got to establish the run. We're going to stay in our big package because you're going to want to run the ball here. And Andy Reid told them every time, I'm going to throw. And they kept running out base defenses. Now they're all in nickel. All the linebackers are 230. There's no Levon Kirklands and Jeremiah Trotters and, frankly, to a degree, Nick Boltons. They're not around anymore. And he used to put 3 of those guys out there. And now they don't have it. And so he has to. That's what McVay, I've been watching a ton of football lately when they're running all kinds of games on NFL Network, and we're all thirsty for it. And so I'm watching all these old games, and I'm like, that's with power. That's a play action off the power. Like if anybody spent any time looking around at the rest of the league, I don't know how you can't watch a Rams, Seahawks, 49er, Bears, Lion game and not be like, oh, this is what they're doing.
And these are
Just look at
young
the team
guys
that won it all.
who you would think wanted to play video game football.
Right.
They're like, ooh, that running stuff. That's cool.
We put 3 tight ends out there, and they're still in nickel. We're going to run over them.
I mean,
right.
your
that's
big,
what's fun. Success is fun.
Your big free agent acquisition in the offseason for the offense came from a team that does just that and hoisted the Lombardi Trophy.
There was a Bills game that was on, And I watched it. I'm going to go back and see how they did. It was a Josh Allen run, which always gives you an upper hand because you've got an extra blocker. But I had an offensive tackle at tight end, then 2 tight ends on the field, lined up on the right side. They basically just said, we're running it right here. We're going to go right here.
Stop it.
And the other team stayed balanced on defense with a nickel, and Josh Allen ran for like 16 yards.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's a big arrow pointing here.
It's like the old
here.
Packers. We're going to run the sweep. See if you can stop it.
Yeah.
We've got good offensive linemen. They're going to pull out. They're going to kick your ass. We're going to gain
We're going to
yardage.
run it right down your throat.
Right.
Jim Taylor's going to go right. Paul Horning's going to go left. And
Right.
Yeah.
And we're going to dance. And we're going to
alley.
we're going to shake hands in the end zone. We're not going to dance in the end zone because nobody danced, but till Elmo Wright. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So yes, I mean, football evolves. I will say that about like baseball is kind of slow to come around to things. In football, guys say, well, it's been doing this for a couple of years and they're catching on.
yeah.
I'm changing.
Yeah.
And
And Andy Reid did that. I mean, his offense is way different now than it was back in the day when it was true West Coast football. I mean, he got to be more, he started looking more like Mike Martz running things in St. Louis, which is the Coryell offense. And, so, yeah, it's we're going to need to see something different. I think the biggest question is not Patrick Mahomes' knee. I think the biggest question is Andy Reid and what he does with his offense. And you're right, we're not going to know it till next year. We're talking to Danny Klinksky, a little Danny Unleashed, brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing, Kansas City's best. They got a complete commercial division. That's right. They'll be happy to look at your roof. No matter what kind of business you've got, they can take care of you, no matter whether it's a tall building, a big, wide building. It doesn't matter. They go ahead and listen to what it is you've got going on traffic-wise to try to make sure they don't disrupt your business as well. What a novel concept. Call 913-257-5426. Talk to a real-life person 24/7, 365 with Easton Roofing, online at eastonroofing.com. You're listening to the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Danny Clinkscale's with us. He's brought to you by Eastern Roofing. Little Danny Unleashed here on a Friday. Danny, we're taking down everyone's 16 Big 12 coaches. We'll do the SEC. I'm curious. I just want to zero in on the local guys. You went with
8 and 9.
8 and 9. Lance Leipold 8.
And I was very
Colin Klein 9.
I was very tempted to rank Colin Klein higher. I
did. I got him at 7.
I am bullish on his prospects. I think he's going to be a fine coach, but he hasn't done it, so I can't just throw him up there super high, you know. And Lance Leipold has proven. Now he's got another prove it season, sort of, but he's proven that he can be a success at Kansas. So I felt like I had to shade him slightly ahead of Colin Klein, but I have him higher than whatever list I was working off of there.
We've got the three of us, Blair, Lebo, and now you. I'll add you to the spreadsheet here on this. And what is amazing is everybody has the same 5 up top. It's not amazing, I guess, but I don't want to be fascinating like your boy Mike Greenberg. Kalani Sitake, Joey McGuire, Kenny Dillingham, Sonny Dykes, and Willie Fritz. Everybody has 1 through 5.
Right.
In some order.
And, I have Willie Fritz 3rd, and he's done it everywhere. He's done it under difficult...
That's the highest, I think.
He's done it under difficult circumstances. But the other coaches that are up there high, who are the newer ones, they look young and energetic. That's why I've got Rich Rodriguez down at the tank. I think that's a bad hire, a guy who's cashing a check now. They got good Rich Rodriguez. They got... Kenny Dillingham back in the day when he was young and aggressive and
you actually
eager.
have Dion last. I have Rich Rod last. I have Dion at like 11 or 12 because I think there's at least enough sizzle to maybe attract some talent. But
he's not the worst coach probably, but the results haven't been good and it's a clown show, so I can't help but either one of those guys, 15 or 16.
Hey, Kyle. He just hangs his head. He knows right where I'm going. What do you think who do you think's number 7 for Danny?
Brent Brennan?
Yeah, Brent Brennan in Arizona. He had Brent Brennan 15.
The Arizona guys to me get a little bit of extra because
no one's ever consistently won there.
Right,
if you win there, you're doing something. I agree.
And there's no enthusiasm for it. You play games with no home advantage a lot of times.
It's early in the year. It is. I've been to games at
hot.
Sun Devil.
There's other things to do at Arizona State.
Yes.
Yeah. Except to go. You're glad when it's hot for a football game at Arizona State.
I won't be shy about it. I have said many times my kids can go to school wherever they want to go to school, just not Arizona State. They cannot go there. That's the only school. I'm telling you, those kids are out in Scottsdale. They're running around with NBA guys and Major League Baseball players and like the hot places to go when you go to ASU are big people bars.
Right?
No,
not just.
Kenny Dillingham wins there. He's really done something.
Right. By the way, my wife is in upstate New York, so she flew into Syracuse the other day.
How is the airport these days?
She said, I said, I remembered it being super convenient because it was tiny and nothing. And she said, yep, small, smells like fried chicken.
Strong.
3 rental car lines for every company total.
Yeah. There's three
kiosks, I guess, for every rental car imaginable.
Well, aren't every rental car company is owned by 3 companies?
So what I said to her was, in thinking about it, I think I like Utica better than Syracuse, and that speaks volumes. Because Utica is I lived there for 7 years, and it's nothing, and I liked it better than Syracuse.
Like
I have not.
Chicken.
I have not been in Syracuse, New York, since 1993.
Yeah, well, I think most people would think of it as, thank goodness for the university.
Yeah,
because otherwise nobody would even ever.
Well, it's a Rust Belt city for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's like Utica. Utica's like a tiny Syracuse. So I'm just saying, if I say it's better, it's bad. So there's your Syracuse update.
Thank you,
She's
Danny.
in Ithaca, which is better.
All right, what was notable about the Royals' first game ever at Colorado? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
Second half of the program begins right now with the 2-minute drill. Now it's time to get the second half of the program going. We do it with the 2-minute drill. It is brought to you, thank you, Mr. Voice Guy, by our friends at Unlimited RV. Take a look. They are Kansas City's best. Did you know that? They're a top 50 RV dealer in the last 3 or 4 years in a row. In the country, they're number 1 in Kansas City. Why? Well, things like a lifetime warranty on all new campers, lifetime warranty on used campers that are 2 years old, 4.7-star Google rating. That's with over 900 reviews. We're talking about happy customers. 2 locations for Josh and his great team, 4400 North Cobbler Road in Independence. If you're down in the Ozarks, 12 Hauser Road is where you can find Unlimited RV. You want to get it on the road. You want to get to vacationing. You want to do it right. I'm going to tell you, maybe you just want the ultimate tailgate vehicle. Get to Unlimited RV. They're online at unlimitedrv.com. Let's get things started on the 2-minute drill. We begin in San Francisco, California. That's where we find our friend Roxy Bernstein, 95.7 The Game, ESPN. Roxy, how are you, my friend?
I'm great, Soren. How are you?
Very good. What's the fallout from this Kyle Shanahan? We knew about it. We didn't report it. What's the blowback on that right now in the Bay Area?
There was a lot of pushback to this, and it's confusing to a lot of people how it actually came to light. But, this thing was buried for, about 11 days, Soren, until finally it was uncovered when it was reported to the state. But the Palo Alto Police Department, which operates differently than a lot of other police departments around the area, they don't report what they consider to be minor traffic accidents and make it for public consumption. And so it got buried a little bit. I think the Niners could have done a better job, Soren, in getting out in front of this by saying, hey, look, Kyle Shanahan was involved in an accident. He is injured, but everything is okay. There was no serious injuries reported, blah, 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 blah. They didn't do it. And it's like they tried to hide the fact that this happened. And Kyle Shanahan, originally, the other driver was considered to be at fault, but that was a clerical mistake. Kyle Shanahan admitted that he was at fault, dropped his cell phone, then picked it up. So I think they could have gotten out in front of this, done a better job, because it appeared on the surface they were trying to hide the accident from that. They were hoping the public wouldn't find out.
How was it, 10, 11, 15 stitches, something like that in his face, broken nose? I mean, it was...
Yeah, there were some significant injuries, which is keeping him away from practice for the time being. He's made some appearances at 49er headquarters, but it's going to be a little while before he's back, and maybe another week or two. He suffered a concussion, they said, in the accident as well. So when John Lynch showed up on the opening press conference for camp, that's when everybody kind of found out. And they've been a little secretive about items, and you can imagine why. But at the end of the day, I think they should have gotten out in front of this, because it's not, in terms of the landscape of major situations, it wasn't a significant injury accident.
Well, he wasn't drunk, right? This is not drunk driving. It was his phone came off his phone slipped, and he did something stupid. He bent down to pick it up, and he went across the center line and had a serious accident. But you just, to me, this is an example of teams where they just, and coaches, they want everything to be a secret, that they basically created something that wasn't there. It's like, hey, you had an accident, here it is. But instead, they're so terrified that somebody might know something that's going on, and so they make it look like there's something nefarious by not just coming forward and saying the guy had an accident.
The paranoia these days, and it's not just, for example, the 49ers in this situation, but around sports in general, they think that by hiding something, they're doing the honorable thing. But that's not the case here, right? The paranoia that this was going to blow up. The public, Soren, was going to find out eventually. And nobody was seriously injured. There were some injuries that were bad for Kyle Shanahan, but it's not like he's not going to recover from this. And I don't understand why the Niners took this route instead of just putting their cards on the table.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the San Francisco. Well, let's talk about Deebo Samuel first of all.
The reunion.
He's back. Deebo's back to the chagrin of everyone who wants their team to sign a wide receiver that they've heard of. Does this work this time around? Why is it? Why would it be a better fit this time?
He's a great locker room guy. And they just made a decision. They invested in Brandon Ayuk, which was a bad decision. And he's still under contract with the 49ers. That's what's funny. They could really use him because it appears that Ricky Pearsall is going to be out for the year. That the knee injury, the PCL injury, which he suffered last season, just has not gotten better. And he's going to need another procedure. And the need for a receiver now for the 49ers, because you're not going to have Pearsall for the year. Demo knows the system. Everybody loves Demo. He was a great locker room guy. It should be a seamless fit for him to come back because, look, George Kittle's going to be out for a little bit coming back from the Achilles. They went out and signed Mike Evans and Christian Kirk to help bolster the receiving corps. They're really high on rookie Dejon Stribling. They think he's going to be really good. So this is a group that needed another body that could contribute, and that's why they went out and got Deebo Samuel. It seems like a good fit. Look, the defense did it also, right? They brought back Dre Greenlaw. It makes a lot of sense for John Lynch and the 49ers to do this.
All right, tell me real quick on the Warriors. They swing and miss on LeBron James. People are starting to write things about, like, why are the Warriors – making the end of Steph Curry's career so bad and saying that the Warriors ought to be trading him to just do him a solid where he has a chance to go compete. Would they ever consider doing that? And is there a plan B to trying to add to this team to try to make him a legit title contender?
The only way that Steph would ever get traded, Soren, is if he went to Joe Lacob, Warriors owner, and Mike Dunleavy, the GM, and Steve Kerr said, will you move me? That's the only way it'll ever happen. There is no chance if that doesn't happen, the Warriors would get rid of Steph Curry. So now they pivot. Look, Steve Kerr never really thought they were going to get LeBron. Like, I know there was a lot of optimism. Oh, he might want to come play with Draymond and Steph. And here we are, this exceptional talent team. But Steve Kerr was realistic and never thought LeBron was going to actually come to the Warriors, just because there was too much history there with him going against the Warriors all those years in Cleveland. So now you pivot. There's rumblings that DeMar DeRozan could be in play for the Warriors. I've even heard Russell Westbrook's name. They need to do something else. This is an aging team. Look, they need to have another weapon. Jimmy Butler will be back at some point. And they're really high on Yaxel Lendeborg. They drafted out of Michigan. They think he's going to be a real contributor this year. But they need something else. And could DeRozan be a guy that could help this team out potentially? They are going to do something else. Let's wait and see. But Westbrook and DeRozan's names have been floated out there.
All right, let's talk about the Giants. Let's talk about Harrison Bader. Is he in trouble of maybe not getting paid when he's got an injury and now he's made it worse after a scooter accident? People saw him bar hopping and he runs into like a fire truck or whatever it was. I mean, what? How does this end up playing out?
What is it about San Francisco organizations trying to hide an accident?
Yes.
Right? It's obviously different. He was on a scooter. Most likely he was inebriated. He was out in the area of Union Street where a lot of the fun bars are at in downtown San Francisco. And not only did he run into this fire truck, but the fire truck ran over that foot. So you want to compound the injury, the embarrassment of riding a scooter in a fire truck, and the fire truck ran over that foot, which is injured for Bader. It's a horrible look for him and the Giants. And here you are at the deadline. He was a potential guy you could move, and now he's out for the year, so you're not going to get anything for him. Because when he's healthy, he's a terrific defensive outfielder. To me, he's as good a center fielder as there is defensively in the game. But the Giants are going to have to make some moves. They're going to be selling here at the deadline. It's like that image from Trading Places, right? Sell, sell, sell. Robbie Ray's going to be on his way out of town. There's some other pieces that could be moved. For example, Luis Ariz is on an expiring contract. Some of the other contracts they'd love to get rid of, but Willie Adames, you can't move him. Matt Chapman's going to come back any day now from the hip injury. You have Rafael Devers locked up long-term. They're not going to trade Logan Webb. He is the anchor of that rotation. But there are some factors here that the Giants need to get more talent in the organization. And Robbie Ray is certainly one. He's pitched great here the last 2 months. Everything in the pitcher's market appears to be waiting on the Tarek Skubal deal to go first. Then the dominoes will fall. I think that's what the Giants are waiting for.
All right. We'll see. If they do, but you don't see any way that they just tear it all down and say, okay, we got to start from scratch. It'll be.
I think they'd like to, Soren, but
Okay.
they just can't. These are bad contracts that they can't. Willie Adames, and you can't get rid of that. Jung-Hoo Lee could be an attractive piece. The Giants are hinting they want to keep him because he's really turned into a find this year after battling with injuries his first couple of years. He's had a good season. He could be a nice piece for a lot of teams because he's athletic, he's a good hitter, and Arise has shown this year that he's a much better defender than he has been, and working with Ron Washington has helped him. I think the Giants will move him as well. And Elliot Ramos is another name to pay attention to because the market seems to be pretty hot for right-handed bats. And I could see Ramos going on the move as well. They'd love to tear it down, Soren, but they're handcuffed with some of these contracts.
Yeah, it's the spot they're in. They've got the money. I mean, I would think that they could just go ahead and say, we'll eat the money. We'll pay these guys to be someplace else and start the process of turning things around. But, a lot of times teams don't want to do that. Certainly Buster Posey would be admitting that he failed if he did it. But we'll see what they end up getting done at the deadline. Roxy Bernstein in San Francisco, California. Great stuff as always, buddy. We appreciate it. Have yourself a great weekend, my friend.
Talk soon, pal. Take care.
And in Phoenix, Arizona, we drank way too much Corona.
With Doug Franz Unplugged podcast in Phoenix, Arizona. Doug, how are you, buddy?
Life is wonderful, my friend. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you. The Diamondbacks, second in the NL West. What do they want to buy? Are they going to be big buyers at this deadline?
Most people say no, and I would agree with that. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that if they take on any money, they're going to go into almost like the second tier in the NBA, in which they're going to have a hefty luxury tax. And I don't think this team is good enough to pay the tax. They're good enough to get into the playoffs, maybe surprise somebody, but I don't think they're good enough to make another World Series run like they did 3 years ago, so why pay the tax?
Is closer one of the things that they would be looking for?
I don't think so. Here's why. They have a closer in Justin Martinez, who last June went under the knife for UCL, and they expect him back in 2 weeks. So Paul Seaboldt is still there. He's not totally out, but he's being adjusted, is the phrase that they use. They're going to go with the famous closer by committee and do matchup. But if Martinez comes back healthy, I think they feel like it's almost picking up someone at the trade deadline just by getting players off the IL.
Yeah, well, I know. I love when GMs talk like that. Like, oh, we're getting, our addition is going to be
like somebody's going to come right in and win the Cy Young in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, we don't need to do anything. Oh, you can always do something. I mean, it's one of the few times that talent acquisition can be had. How good is their system if they wanted to go after some of the premium talent out there?
It is above average. I would not call it elite, but I would say it's above average. So they have the pieces, but it kind of goes back to the same luxury tax argument. Are you good enough to part with those pieces and who they are getting? Is that person good enough to put you over the top? So as you were just talking about Seaboldt, I don't think they have that level talent to go get Seaboldt, but he's a West Side guy, meaning he's from the extreme west side of Phoenix. So it would be kind of cool to bring him home.
All right, let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals. What do we think of the quarterback situation? Jacoby Brissett finally has a new deal. He's got a chance to make upwards of $21 million, so I assume he's happy and he's the guy moving forward, right?
Well, if you're wondering why it's so loud, I'm sitting right here at Cardinals camp in Glendale because they're one of the few teams that do, or they're the only team that does their training camp in their own home stadium. And I think this reflects so poorly on ownership. Jacoby Brissett is the 26th highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He would have taken that job that contract in March. Why wasn't it done back then? Instead, he misses all of OTAs when you're installing a new offense. Really poor ownership to wait this long and get the deal done. But Jacoby Brissett is exactly what you know him to be. I can't give you any insight there. He's a below-average starter and an excellent chemistry person, so it's good that he's here. But I agree with Vegas. The over-under is one of the lowest set in NFL history at only 3.5. And I think it's easy money to take the under. I don't see 4 wins on that schedule.
If you were dumb enough to trade for Marvin Harrison in a dynasty league, I'm not saying I did, but I did. Is there any sign of that guy turning the corner?
I really don't think so, Soren. Is there any way you could sell or stop doing it? I mean, he's a great kid, but he's one of those classic great kids that just, when the lights come on, they're just too bright. And then when he was hurt last year, Michael Wilson, who's otherwise known as Sophie's husband, was fantastic moving over and playing the X. Now, at least in this offense, you got a little bit of hope. In the old offense, in which Drew Petzing had a straight progression read, you look at the 1, 2, 3, 4 read across the table every single time. Marvin's number one. He's not open or he drops it. At least now you're going to have an offense where you're allowed to use a pre-snap read, and if you want to be able to throw it backside, you can. That might open it up for Marv a little bit, because now the quarterback isn't going to be locked in on Marv, and therefore the coverage locked in on Marv. But I'm just kind of pulling straws to make you feel good.
Oh, God. I don't feel good. It didn't work, by the way. Lastly, let's talk about the two college coaches. We did our Big 12 head coach rankings. Most of us were pretty bullish on Brent Brennan. One guy, you may have talked to him when he put you up. Kyle Collier didn't have him very high. But Kenny Dillingham was in everybody's top 5. Brent Brennan beat him head-to-head last year. The Arizona State had a lot of injuries. Who's the better team this year between those two?
Boy, that's a fantastic question. I would take better team U of A right now, but I would still take Kenny Dillingham if we're just talking coaching light years ahead. I think this young man is an absolute rock star, the way he gets the most out of people. But from a Big 12 standpoint, that you hear the crowd go crazy. I can't believe this just happened. Marvin Harrison with an incredible catch, getting the toes down on the sideline. Congratulations, Soren. Everybody's shocked that he caught it.
That's the Marvin Harrison I traded for. There he is. The real guy has just finally emerged.
You got an eyewitness report to make you feel good. So then I look at Kenny Dillingham. He's fantastic, but the problem is neither fans are great at supporting. Now, this is a trend. There might actually be a waiting list for 2027 ASU season tickets for the first time in their history. He is turning it that far around, but even Kansas City has more Fortune 500 companies than Phoenix. So there isn't that big money booster that's really going to compete with a Texas Tech. So I almost feel like ASU's ahead of the game, but they might always be chasing their tail a little bit.
Which is amazing because they're a massive university. So that means they've got a ton of alumni, but I guess they're all just stoned and in their mom's basement or something?
They do fight it out with Ohio State every year for the most undergrad. But the catch is so many people come here for the weather and they're out-of-state kids, and then they just go back home, or they want to get out of the heat because they've grown up in it, and they leave and go somewhere else, and then they don't get as engaged, and that's slowly starting to change because the growth out here is crazy. And Royals fans might understand this. Surprise was a sleepy little town when the Royals moved out there. Now it's the third fastest growing city in America, and one of the other two is Buckeye, which is just south of Surprise. So as this city continues to explode, fortunes for ASU might change.
Well, of course. I mean, why wouldn't Surprise grow? It's the capital of every chain restaurant in the world.
It's a sad little place. But you could say that about every West Side suburb, and I live in one, so we're kind of boring.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Doug, you're never boring. You're the man. Doug Franz in Phoenix, Arizona. Great stuff. Get back to practice, buddy. Thanks for the time.
Absolutely. Miss you, brother. See you.
Going back to Houston.
We'll talk to Matt Thomas, Sports Talk 790 in Houston, Texas. Matt, how are you, buddy?
Terrific. I'm not at Texans practice because I hate training camp. I do not go.
Okay. All right. That's all right. Tell me, what are the battles? What are the questions that the Texans are going to try to answer at that training camp you refuse to watch?
Number one, where is C.J. Stroud's head right now? Terrible playoff performance. Really awesome rookie NFL season. Slight regression the last couple of years. He's got another offensive line. He's got a first-round pick as his new center. He's got a new running back in David Montgomery. He's got an elite receiver in Nico Collins. Is there enough in the receiving core? Is there a decent number 2 running back behind Montgomery? Will the offensive line keep him upright? And can C.J. Stroud not crumble under the pressure of the playoffs? Because if you watch those last 2 playoff games against Pittsburgh and New England, they were a very difficult watch. And remember, he's potentially up for a contract that puts him in the $50 million club. His agent, David Mulugeta, wants it. The Texans a little leery at this point to give it to him at this exact moment.
Yeah, so there's no no talk of negotiations going on, and we're not going to hear.
Okay. I think there's a little bit of hesitation, and Nick Caserio, the general manager, is not one for a lot of being overly glib about what's going on. He's the kind of guy that I guess is, at the end of the day, if he wants to do it and ownership is going to back him on it, he'll just call and say, here's the deal, take it or leave it. And at this point, they have not done that, but I think there at least have been some conversations on both sides.
You know, you're right about that great rookie season. We also saw the one, people were critical of him talking to Caleb Williams during Caleb Williams' first year, kind of like he was the, Tom Brady telling him how the league works when he's only been in the league a year more than him. Is he a leader on that team, or is he kind of thought of as phony, or maybe just childish?
No.
What's the
no,
view?
Not phony. Actually, a really good dude. I think stardom got to him a little quick, and the last couple of years, especially this offseason, you don't see him anywhere. He was bumming around with other quarterbacks after his rookie year and doing the Radio Row route and doing a lot of international things and hanging out with other players around the league. And the biggest offseason thing he did, and it's rather frankly silly, is he got his hair cut. And everyone said, well, maybe that's a new attitude or new style. Okay. I don't care if he's bald like I am or he's got a full growing locks. Just don't throw passes to members of the New England Patriots as often as you did in January.
Yeah, agreed. Hey, J.J. Watt's going to bump up to the number one team at CBS. Matt is also the voice of the Rockets, so knows a little something about broadcasting games. Do you think J.J. Watt's good enough to be a lead dog on a network?
I believe everybody in America believes that except Greg Olson. If you know that Greg Olson got bumped for Tom Brady, and I think Greg's got a caveat in his contract that if he gets a chance to be a number one somewhere else, he could leave. So, look, JJ, we knew the moment he got drafted, 15 years ago, he was going to be a guy that was going to ultimately have a career in broadcasting when his playing days were done. He's great. Ian Eagle's a good friend of mine, so I know he's bummed because he's losing his partner for a while, and it's kind of funny. We spent a little bit of time, not a whole lot on my radio show today, discussing whether or not does the punishment fit the crime and how long the crime would be if Tony Romo was to lose his job. You and I aren't privy to Tony's contract about whether or not you would lose your job over a situation like that, but you know how much money he's being paid, and there has certainly been some criticism of maybe the lack of preparedness that Tony has had the last couple of years, kind of resting on his laurels, and I wonder if this is a way for CBS escape. But as far as JJ the analyst is, and he will be on the call for Buffalo versus Houston, which will be the feature game in Week 1 on CBS. He's going to be fantastic. He was great last year as a rookie.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know what you're talking about with Tony Romo stepping all over the call on every time of every big moment. He won't shut up at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow. God, fire and brimstone.
2 years ago, nobody ever urinated on a magnificent moment of a championship game in a call like Tony Romo did. It was awful. Shut up, Tony, and let the pictures tell the scene, and maybe let your play-by-play guy shape what's going on. Wow. It was.
How about this? Will Tony Romo ever call a game in Kansas City, Kansas? Yes or no?
I don't think so, because I think they're going through his contract, figuring out if they can blow him out. Like that's what I think. They're like, we gotta figure out if we can get him out of there. All right, the Astros. Are they gonna buy?
Big series. Oh baby, 2 teams. One above 500, one at 500, meeting in downtown Houston. Throw the record books out. Somebody's got to win the American League West, and it could be the winner of the series between these 2 teams. They're going to be buyers. It is patently absurd. If you watch MLB Network or look at any of the national folks, they were never going to sell, even after they won 8 of their last 9 games. They weren't going to be sellers. This division is terrible. This American League is terrible. Hell, the Royals may be a 4-game winning streak from getting back in the wild card race. I kid, Kansas City. I'm sorry, you're done. But the reality is this: it's a woeful division. It's a woeful league. No one's scared of Tampa. Maybe a few people will be scared of the Yankees if Judge comes back, but they're going to be definitely buyers, looking for a bat for the outfield for sure.
And then finally, for the Houston Rockets, the team you call the games for, I guess the plan is to just get healthy and go at it with the same crew.
Yeah, Marcus Smart comes away from the Lakers to the Rockets, which is interesting because that's the team we lost to in the playoffs. They went and got Bogdan Bogdanovic, who could definitely shoot the 3. Health has been an issue for him. But yeah, Fred VanVleet coming back after missing all last year with an ACL, and apparently quite a serious ACL is a lot of it. And the rumors will never go away about Kevin Durant being moved on. I wouldn't read much into that, and I would also not read much into any sort of Russell Westbrook of the Rockets rumors either.
All right, we'll find out what ends up happening. Matt Thomas in Houston, Texas. Always a great conversation with you, Matt. We appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Call anytime, friend.
All right, the La Feta delicatessen, end of the hour answer. Royals, Rockies, Denver tonight. What was notable about the Royals' first ever game at Colorado? June 7th, 2003.
What was notable, you said?
What was notable about it? This would be a hard question to get, but I think
was it like the biggest crowd in baseball history because they played at Coors Field, or they played at like the Rocky or the Bronco Stadium?
It was actually at Coors Field. They didn't get around to playing before they were there. What's notable is that it was the first game of a doubleheader. They had gotten rained out the night before, so they played 2 on Saturday. So the first game the Royals ever played in Colorado was the same day as the second game.
15 gems are hard a week are hard, aren't they?
Not easy. I only had to do 12 this week. I know you wouldn't let it slip by. Not at all.
Not going to let it slide. Well, that's really interesting, Curtis.
Yep.
A doubleheader, you say?
Mm-hmm.
How's that? Is that better?
Not really. Not in that voice. Wow, that's really interesting, Kay. It's very clever, sir.
Tell us more.
I'm so entertained by that. Picking up your sarcasm.
Yeah. Well, I'm laying it on pretty thick. You know? So there you go. We got that going for us.
You're in the wrong state. Get yourself a new map. Rarely is someone completely unknown just stolen a scene.
Yeah.
In a movie like that guy did.
Because what are the states? Where are they? Because that's in such
Illinois and Iowa.
Iowa.
I'm looking for Davenport. Well, this is map Illinois, which we're in, which is on the border of Iowa, which is where Davenport is, 22 miles away. You're in the wrong state. Get yourself a new map. Because he goes,
catching your sarcasm there.
Well, this is Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
David Spade comes in and asks the guy, he goes, I'm looking for Davenport. He says, it's 22 mile. Oh, 22 mile, is it? That's interesting because on the map here, you say you're really smart, but Davenport isn't on the map. Picking up your sarcasm. Well, I should think so because I'm laying it on pretty thick.
And that's what he goes.
Guy puts it in his book. He looks like, this is a map. Yeah. Oh, okay. How much I owe for the gas? He didn't pump any. What? He goes out. That was the scene where Tommy Boy backs the car up and
almost the door.
Takes the door off the hinges. They were sold out.
Yeah. He opens the door and goes, what'd you do?
Yeah, what'd you do?
That's my favorite. Kyle, have you seen Tommy Boy?
I have not, but your ex-intern Underpants just called in to give Curtis some crap.
Oh, yeah? What'd he say?
He's on the line.
Oh, wow. Just out of the blue? I don't know if this is warranted here, is it? You're in the program, Underpants. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, love the show. Man, that stat by Kurtis, I don't know what I was going to do with the rest of my night. Now that I know that, the night is so great. It's perfect now.
Which one were you?
Underpants.
Which one were you again?
Used to work at the 810 zone.
I don't remember. You'd have thought that you would have left more of an impression on me.
Yeah,
maybe.
I like that. But now you're going to run right out and you're going to tell everybody you know, and you're gonna get like 3 phone numbers.
Yeah,
because the ladies are going to be really impressed. Like, really, doubleheader? Here's my number.
Yeah, my Twitter feed's already blowing up. My DM. I've already thrown it out there. It's amazing.
I'm guessing your nickname wasn't Underpants because you're cool.
Underpants.
Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of the
Thanks,
show.
brother.
See you, buddy.
Appreciate the call. See you.
Love it.
There you go.
That was good.
That was pretty good.
Because he had an idea and thought, I'm going to call. And put on the air, he delivered.
Yeah.
Nice work.
I like it.
Probably learned that from us.
I think he probably did.
Some people, when they are interns, they learn, and then some don't.
iPhone, are you going to call and rip on Curtis in later years? Is that part of the strategy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just,
Well, when the TBT comes around, we know iPhone's going to be on.
Yeah, that's when he'll be all fired up. That's real ball. Real ball.
TBT.
How did that? I'm genuinely asking. Did they lost, right? Because KU then went on to brawl with Wichita.
Well, they lost, and I my big thing why is because Michael Beasley just kind of gave up on it. You'd be surprised, but it didn't turn out for Kansas State TBT. He had to get back to the three-man league.
Oh yeah,
he had to go win MVP. He's playing right now with Lance Stevenson. I don't know about right now, but he played yesterday.
God, is it the all disappointment team? What is their team disappointment?
Awesome.
What's their?
I mean, he blew on LeBron's face. It was great. He's awesome.
Lance Stevenson was like a giant recruit though, and he didn't. He was fine, but wow,
could have been something special.
Yeah,
I mean, what?
Who else was on your TBT team?
I mean, there was Childress who played for Wake Forest. He never played for
Randolph
K-State.
Childress.
Oh my goodness!
Is that his first name?
I only knew Childress because he didn't go to K-State. He played for Wake Forest. He was a guest player, and he started point guard, and he sucked. I hated him. He was terrible. Xavier Sneed, who played in the NBA, that guy, he did great. Sneed was awesome. He's more my time. I say my time. I'm 21, so but it was him. Those were kind of the only ones that really mattered at that point, because then the drop off was quick. But I think that here in a bit, Dean Wade's going to get out there, and the tournament is going to be. He's going to get done because he's going to take the starting job from LeBron, and once he moves him out of the way, because LeBron's too old, and then after that, they'll get the NBA championship, MVP, TBT.
Okay,
it'll be the big.
Like the EGOT.
Yeah, it'll be like the EGOT for basketball.
Yeah, that's. I think that's how it works. It's kind of like you win all the four majors and the gold medal in golf.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same thing. Get that TBT championship.
You get everything you need to do because this year doesn't really matter. No one really cares about Zeke Mayo and all those people. I mean, those are the guys you just kind of push to the side.
Is the tournament over, by the way?
No, I think that it's still going on right now.
It's still going on. Kansas lost to Kentucky's team.
That's
Willie Cauley-Stein. Yeah, he's a pretty good guy. He's receding, but besides that, he finally took his hat off to play some basketball. I feel bad for him, but they're pretty good.
That started early.
Kentucky's a pretty good team. Yeah.
Who Willie Cauley-Stein? Who else was on Kentucky?
The other guys. I couldn't pretend like I cared about it. I saw Michael Beasley come on Instagram, and he was like, "We're gonna play KU," and then he beat them, and then he kissed that guy, and then he gave up.
And then he was
done.
Too bad Danny's not in here because Danny and I were covering the Final Four, I think it was, in Houston, and that day, or no. Like 3 or 4 days earlier, the Rockets had just signed Michael Beasley out of China and brought him over, and he went for 27 in the first game. They were decimated by injuries, and he went for 27, and then the next night he only played 13 minutes. And Danny and I are sitting at a bar across the street from where the Rockets play, and we were just about ready to leave, and then Michael Beasley walks in and starts trying to make time with this gal that was sitting at the bar next to us. And we're like, well, we're not leaving now.
We're going
to listen to this.
We got to watch this play out.
And part of his smooth talking to try to either get to know this lady or whatever the end game was, part of his smooth talking was apparently he thought she would be tremendously interested in bitching about the coach not giving him enough minutes.
Oh, yeah,
that usually works, actually.
Yeah.
I've made that up before when I'm not even playing it. It works every time.
The thing of it is, Susie, that 13 minutes, man, I got more minutes. It's Sarah. Yeah, Sally, I'm telling you, man, the coach, he's just not playing me. And if I could go, man, I can ball. So it was quite entertaining.
You deserve to get walked away from. That's your pitch. By the way, some of the other notable players.
We literally were sitting there going, wait, this is you're a chronic malcontent to begin with, but you're even going to bitch while you're trying to pick up a gal? I mean, come on, man.
New game. Some of the other notable players on the La Familia Kentucky alumni roster: Marcus Lee, DeAndre Liggins, Chris Coffey, I heard of him, Andrew Harrison, the lesser of the two Harrison brothers, Archie Goodwin. That's about it. Khalil Whitney, Daryl more
Oh,
so.
well, if you lose to a squad that's loaded like
Yeah.
that at Kansas, I mean, you're okay with that. Listen to that powerhouse lineup. How could you possibly win?
By
Billy Preston stood no chance. KU legend Billy Preston.
Led by head coach
stood no
John
chance.
Hood. No idea.
So what's left? How many teams are left? What do we got? Give me an update on this.
I just looked at the Kentucky roster. Let's see.
We got a bracket?
Got to be a bracket. Here's the bracket.
What are we down to?
We are down to
the final 68.
Looks like we're down to the finals. La Familia against Davis Steel. What is Davis Steel?
Wow.
That's not really a. It's not a.
It's not an affiliate with.
No. This is getting Gabe York. I think went to. Did he play at Arizona? See Terry Taylor, Nate Watson, DJ Rodman. A bunch of guys I've never heard of. Guys that played everywhere.
James Reeves, Thomas Rutherford, Hassani Gravitt, Terrell Brown, Terry Taylor, Pedro Bradshaw, Nate Watson, Cameron McGriff, Anthony Clemens. You can't beat this team.
No. They knocked off the Mecca in the semifinal.
I think that might be the best thing.
The Mecca.
The team names might be the best part of the TBT. DJ Rodman. I mean, the schools, they're like real schools here. There's some like Arizona, USC, and Washington State. South Carolina, UC Irvine, South Carolina, Washington, Austin P, Bellarmine, Providence, Oklahoma State, and Iowa. That's that roster.
They just got a call
Bellarmine's in
clarifying the TBT. Kentucky won the alumni division. Now they play the winner of the non-alumni division.
That's what that is.
Oh,
I see.
Okay. Well, of course.
Well, yeah. Duh.
Okay. So does this Davis Steel? Do we have a spread on the game? Do we need to get Fat Jack on here?
Hot Rod Jacobs.
You have to be able to bet on everything. There's probably some prediction marking on
sure.
there. No, I put in the spread. La Familia plus 3.5.
Wow, it's not showing them any love.
I'm getting. I think I do have a point spread. David, no, La Familia minus 3.5.
Okay, I'll say
Davis Steel plus 3.5. You got to get down on that, right? You got to move a big ticket item on that.
I think I'm taking Davis Steel on the points. They're pretty good against the.
We need to have a bet just to have a reason to watch it, because is this the last weekend without football? We get preseason ball. I get the Hall of Fame game next week.
Something like that.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Let me see.
And so we got to have something. Sunday, noon Central, the brawl to settle it all.
Basketball.
Kind of. That's what it should be like.
Gimme the ball because I'm gonna miss a shot. Woo!
And the beauty of this is the one where, what is it? At some point late in the game, they go, okay, the target score is this.
Yeah.
Because they don't want a bunch of fouling and trying to drain the clock.
There's an E. Eames? Something starts with an E.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is. But anyway, so then it's like basically, okay, they got to go on a 31-6 run.
Yeah, because the game winner that caused all the trouble in Wichita was they had to get to whatever it was, 71, and the shot hit him there, 61, whatever it was. That's why it's like, why is there no clock? It just hits the shot and it's over?
Yeah.
Oh, what's it called?
Elam.
Elam.
It's the Elam ending. So when you get to 4 minutes left in the final quarter, what you do is you take, I think it's plus 8 points to the highest team's total, and then that's what it is. So like the next stoppage after that. And that was the big thing. Where
when you get to 4 minutes left in the quarter?
4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The next stoppage after that, you add 8 points to the winning team's total, and that then becomes the Elam ending total because they want the game winner in it. They don't want it to just dribble out and end. They want a three-pointer to close it out.
Do you have to hit that number, or you just have to get beyond that number or beyond?
That number or above.
Yeah,
so if it's 83, 84.
Yeah. I think that'd be cool.
Oh, sorry.
Why won't you foul me? We need 1 point.
Just leave it up and go ahead, dribble in.
Yeah. iPhone, our Elam Insider.
Yep.
Our TBT Insider
They used that for the All-Star game a few years back, didn't they? I thought it was actually kind of interesting.
I have not watched.
I only watched to see what that Elam thing would be like.
I barely watched the baseball All-Star game now. I am not
Oh,
watching any of the others.
I just watched it because I wanted to see what the Elam, what that looked like, and I was like, that kind of works.
A lot of three-pointers. A lot of players that want to play hero ball. A lot of people that want to relive it. It's really sad, actually, to watch it over and over again. I mean, I think that Childress guy put up probably 4 3-pointers in a row. So the KU 15-point comeback was off of a bunch of bricks. I mean, they built a house in there. It was terrible. I don't even. I don't think I have much going for me. My fraternity intramural basketball days weren't that good, but I mean, I watched this play. I'm like, you telling me Michael Beasley doesn't touch the ball for 8 straight minutes? I mean, what's going on here?
By the way, you had me go to the roster. Michael Beasley, Keontae Robertson, Cartier Giara,
Windmill Dunk,
Jacob Pullen, Abiomi.
Pullen didn't play.
Iola. I don't even remember him. DeJuan Gordon, John Florvius, Austin Trice, Sean Williams, Kamo Stokes, Xavier Sneed, and Brandon Childress. I think he's got to be Randolph Childress's kid. Doesn't he? Randolph Childress played with Tim Duncan, didn't he?
I think so, yeah. He's 50-something, I thought I saw. I just forgot.
This is entertaining to me.
Randolph Childress is 53, so.
It's his dad.
Yeah.
According to Google AI.
Yep.
So
It's never been wrong.
Take that as you will.
Brandon Childress
It's never been wrong.
His son.
Nope. Some data center just word to life for us to confirm that. 5 gallons of water were just wasted cooling it off, and we got to the bottom of that Childress family connection. I feel better. I feel better for the planet right now.
2, 3, 4. Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it. Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna.
John Tesh and his brother.
Yeah. Not really, but that's the skit.
No, it was Jason Sudeikis, and I can't think of who the other guy was that played. The guy was doing the singing.
Robinson?
Let's do it without the. And so they thought it was
without the lyrics,
and then they go, no, I think it went without the music. No, it's well, this is basically a poem.
Woo! All right, now that's how you do it, Davey. That was just getting hot. You are in such good voice today, buddy.
Thank you, brother. Wow. I mean, that was great, guys. But you know what I was wondering? Is there any way we can hear it again, but, with the lyrics separated out?
Huh. Really?
Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Such a great bit. And they look just like the Tesh thing with the goatee and the vest. And
yeah. Good skit.
So fantastic.
Good skit, to say the very least. We still have Sam Conn Jr. coming. He has written a piece about the quarterback tiers of college football.
Nice.
Have you read it?
I have not.
Where do you think the local quarterbacks land? By tiers. I think he had.
How many tiers are there? I'm guessing.
Hang on. Let me tell you that, because that. Thinking what to put in here to get the. I hadn't opened the. Here it is. He has scrolling. It's a big list because there's 100 plus.
Yeah, there's a few.
The last tier is tier. There's so many in here. This is great radio, huh? Tier 7. Tier 7 picks up with quarterbacks 100 through 138. So where do you think the locals land?
My guess is Avery Johnson will be the highest of the three.
Okay. Which tier?
4.
Okay. You are correct. He's tier 4.
Austin Simmons, maybe tier 5. They might put him up in tier 4, but
tier 3.
Oh wow,
Austin Simmons is the highest,
Feels
ranked
pretty good
number
there.
26.
And I don't even know who
Avery
the KU
Johnson
quarterback
ranked
is.
37. Cole Ballard, number 108,
Yeah.
tier 7. There are only 2 Power 4 quarterbacks in tier 7.
Looking
Cole
forward to hearing
Ballard,
that then, because that makes you feel pretty good.
Cole Ballard is one of them. It's him and the Stanford quarterback. No, I take that back. 3. Mason McKenzie of Boston College is also. There's more than that. I don't see Rutgers, Iowa. Like I said, I didn't pay very close attention to that. Purdue. There's a handful of them down there, in that one, but not a lot. I will tell you that. Not a lot.
All right, name either player that the Colts got from the Broncos in the John Elway trade. Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
Fourth quarter of the program begins right now as we finish strong here on a Friday. Hour number 20 of the week. Still going strong, as I mentioned. In our last segment, we are going to be joined in our next segment by Sam Kahn Jr., who has put the college quarterbacks into tiers. We'll hear where the local guys are, who's up at the top, get his thoughts on college football in general. So looking forward to that conversation still to come here in the program. Let's give you the things you need to know. First, let's begin with a little bit of Andy Reid. First of all, Reid said today that he likes what he's seen from the Bearcats rookie fifth rounder.
Listen, he's done a nice job. The quarterback trusts him. He's got to clean some things up, but he's willing to work at it and do that. So he's had a productive 2 days. You got to keep stacking those as you go, and then you got to get the pads on, and we'll see from there.
Okay. So far so good. He's the camp darling.
Yep.
He is a player that was drafted, so it's not your usual undrafted guy. But we've said I think there's going to be 3 or 4 undrafted guys. His teammate, the 6'5" wideout. Hang on, I'll give you his name.
By the way,
Jeff Caldwell.
Jeff Caldwell. Yeah,
nice.
Some people. Most draft things had him getting drafted and Allen not. But the early returns are good on Allen.
A nice back shoulder catch along the sideline. Kind of managed to get some separation from the defensive back, turned his head. Of course, ball was right where it needed to be, but he made the move, and the fact that I don't put too much into the idea that he trusts him. He's going to trust him in camp because you got to see what he can do and how trustful he is, but that didn't hurt. And if he can, it seems like a guy who can find open space. And man, if you were going to say what's one thing Chiefs wideouts haven't been doing the last few years, getting open.
Yeah,
this guy looks like he might be able to get open.
Yeah, for sure. Mansour Delane, the Chiefs paid a big price to go up and get him. Reid was asked today how they assess a player who's not cleared, still wearing the yellow jersey.
Yeah, so he's another one that is on the injury report but can work. And he's a tough kid. You remember he was a state wrestling champ, all that stuff, man. He's a tough kid. So he wants to be out there. He wants to do everything. We're not allowing him to use that arm. And so he's out there playing kind of one-handed, but till he's just completely cleared there. We're keeping an eye on him. When we get into the contact stuff, we'll back off a little bit on him there. But he's working his tail off and doing what he can do with that. And it's great for him because he's got to work his feet and his techniques and his level. How high, are you rising up as guys are making moves on you, or you're pedaling? What are you doing there? So it's actually works to his benefit in the long run.
Does anybody draft more guys with tails than the Chiefs?
I'll tell you what, man.
I mean,
I will say they at least do get worked off eventually, but I thought evolution did that, but maybe not. Drinking game for Reid, working their tails off.
Who was I listening? There was somebody I was like, oh, it was Danny's. I had Get Up, and there was a lot of fascinating stuff going on, according to Mike Greenberg.
Fascinating.
It was like that. It was all training camp. Like they haven't even really started practicing. And fascinating what's going on. It's not fascinating. It's not fascinating yet,
Yes.
Mike. Trust me, it's not.
You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. You think somebody at some point would have gone, Mike, freeze up on the fascinating.
Yeah.
Really? That's fascinating. Ah! Jumps out the window.
Drew Tranquil at the podium. He's going up against the Chiefs' biggest free agent acquisition. That was Kenneth Walker. Brought him in to upgrade the running back spot. Tranquil, good guy to ask about how he's doing. He was asked if his little heated. They had a dust-up between the two of them. What was going on with that little exchange with Walker?
Oh, yeah, small moment. I mean, we're just competing at the end of the down, trying to get the ball out punched, and then Kenneth's fired up, throws the ball, and it's all love. We're smiling at each other after the play, but, we're just making each other better rep by rep. And, trying to make an emphasis this year to get the ball out. We need to get it out more on defense. I think it just makes camp more fun. Like, there's no hiding that these are the hardest days of the season. And they should be. You're building the foundation, and this is where all your mental confidence and everything that you can fall back on when things get hard in the season is built. And so when you can lighten the mood and laugh a little bit and, jaw back and forth a little bit, it makes it easier, makes it more fun, and brings the energy to, otherwise long, hard days.
I like the part about got to get the ball out more, so that's something they're certainly working on. I'm sure they've worked on it before. It just hasn't happened, but I'm okay with a couple of guys, a couple of veterans going at it a little bit.
Yeah.
They each one of them knows what that was, and they're all good.
Yeah, this is long, hot days. Long, hot days. They hadn't even gotten to the real grind of it. They just got there, for God's sake, the veterans.
They haven't even put the pads on yet. Next week will be fun.
All right. How about Travis Kelce? Tranquil was asked what he's seen so far from the future Hall of Fame tight end.
Looks young, man. Looks spruce. Looks like a guy who just got married. He's looking good. He's him and Patrick seem to have that connection they've always had, connecting on some critical third downs throughout practice over the past few days. And he's in there blocking. I mean, he's in line and blocking, so they're still asking him to do everything.
Looks like a tree.
Looks spruce.
Looks spruce, man. I tell you what.
Did he mean spry?
Probably. I would guess.
That's
spruce?
Not the
spruce.
That's not the conclusion. He looks married for 10 years is the conclusion that most people are putting based upon the video that's out there on Travis Kelce.
Even if it wasn't, I mean, when you say that, looks like a guy who just got married.
I sent that to you.
If you mean he's smiling, yeah, but
spruce can also mean neat in dress and appearance.
Oh, really?
That's
maybe he did. He did go to Notre Dame.
You can spruce up.
He went to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So who are you to question what the hell he meant?
You can spruce up.
I think I've had enough of your crap.
Or he could be engaging in pretense or deception.
Yeah, but he didn't say he was spruce or he spruced. He said he was looking spruce.
I sent that to you guys. Was that the first time you'd seen it when I sent that over to you guys last night?
I believe so, yeah.
It is him walking. I was thinking it was a picture, but it's him walking. I sent it over, and the caption I had was, "That is a man full of wedding cake."
Yeah.
Responses: homemade Pop-Tarts. Taylor Swift makes homemade Pop-Tarts. Then also, maybe the way the clothes are hanging is an optical illusion. At least that's what I tell myself when I look in the mirror every day. That was sent. Also sent was the old Saturday Night Live skit where John Belushi was a Olympic athlete, and John Belushi was overweight.
Yeah.
And by the way, in the commercial, he's smoking a cigarette. He goes, "I downed a lot of miles in training for that medal, along with a lot of little chocolate donuts.
Ran a lot of miles.
Breakfast of Champions.
Down a lot of donuts. Little chocolate donuts.
God.
And they give me the sugar I need to get going in the morning." He's got the cigarette in his hand as he reaches from. It was Marv Albert was doing the commercial. Little chocolate donuts, the breakfast of champions.
Yeah. It was a bit of a
so good.
Bit of a feel for that. So
a smidge.
Spruce. He's looking spruce.
Spruce.
Xavier Worthy was wearing no yellow jersey. He was wearing one back in minicamps, not wearing one at practice. Asked what it's like to get out there and get out of that yellow jersey.
The yellow jersey, that was just something precautionary. Coming into camp, obviously, I knew I was going to get into more contact, building the shoulder up, and I feel fine. I feel good.
How do you feel compared to even after you started playing last year? Were you ever fully 100%? How much better do you feel now compared to last year?
Last year, I was never 100%. I was never going to be 100% until I got the surgery. So I got the surgery, been working on it, building muscle mass, obviously working at it in the offseason, getting stronger, and obviously building that shoulder back.
Never going to be 100% last year, so he came back. He played hurt. That is a reason to be optimistic that he could take a big leap this year.
Got behind somebody yesterday. Can't think I remember who it was, but someone didn't get the jam off the line. He was lined up in the kind of the more close toward the slot on the left side, and he got past him, and Mahomes was right on the money. So let's hope we can see more of that this year.
Somebody's got to step up the wide receiver position.
Yes.
Like, especially when we talk about the spruce Travis Kelce. Like
someone noted that
doesn't it make the wide receivers?
Oh yeah,
even that much more important.
Yes, because I said this a couple of weeks ago that if you look at all the pass catchers that we're going to gather, this is before camp began. All the guys who are going to be up there, there wasn't one person you can look at and go, I know we're going to get a good season out of him.
Mm-hmm.
The only guy you really knew about, I said, everyone's kind of speculation and hope, except for Kelsey, who you're hoping for a rebound. Well, that looks like it might not be as highly likely.
Well, last year was viewed by most as a rebound for Kelsey.
Yeah. Or at least need him to return to that, and everyone else needs to kind of step up and play a full season and be productive, because that really hasn't happened for anybody else in that wide receiver room.
I was on ESPN radio and this week, and they asked about it. I'm like, I don't know what he's going to be. We hadn't seen him yet. Camp, I guess it was last week maybe. I was like, well, is he the guy who 2 years ago looked like he had been chasing the love of his life around the world, or is he going to be the guy who looks like he rededicated himself and got in great shape? We don't know. A is what it's looking like. All right, one more from Xavier Worthy. Asked if the offense is different this year.
I mean, the offense is pretty much the same. We're just fine-tuning and obviously dialing in on the fundamentals and obviously our plays that made us what we were. And we kind of cut a lot of things out. Obviously, Coach Reed probably talked about it. And we're just attacking the fundamental plays and making those plays on the field.
So what do we take from that? We've made a lot out of this today. Everybody has. I think they even played it on Inside, whatever the NFL show is on ESPN. I think they were playing that cut. I mean, it's making its rounds.
What do they mean? Until we hear to know what they cut out, I don't know what you can make out of that. And I'm sure Coach Reed talked about it. Nope.
Yeah, listen.
He doesn't talk about that kind of stuff.
Because if it's the RPOs, okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. You could say what I got out of it was Xavier Worthy not using good judgment.
Well, I'll say this. Like, I think you could change the offense. Where we think they need to change is they need more power running. They need more under center running. That's not really his department.
Right.
So if he's like, they took some things out. Well, they took out the RPOs because they're going to do this other stuff. Because like your under center runs would have been in the offense. It's not something you'd have to add in. They just weren't calling them.
Right.
Now they got to call them more. So I'm not going to panic until I can't panic until I get to the regular season to see the offense not do anything. All right, let's take a break. We talk college quarterbacks next.
Kurtis Seaboldt.
They Mizzou'd more than Mizzou can even Mizzou, right?
On the program, weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, listen up, my guy Cass and all the folks over at All Weather Decks are the best when it comes to building your outdoor living spaces. They did it for me. They can do it for you. They're a 24-time winner of the Angie Super Service Award, carry an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Happy customers. Listen, All Weather Decks starts your project sooner. Basically, all they need are the permits in hand. 6 or 7 weeks is what it usually takes, and then they're off and running. Plus, they come with a full crew. Crews working all over the metro. Multiple crews means that they can start your project quicker, and they'll finish it faster, right? That's important as well. You don't want somebody who's just kind of trying to keep 5 jobs going at once. That crew comes and they work on your job. Then when they're done, they build it better than anyone else. That's what those awards are all about. That's why they've got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. So go to allweatherdecks.net. Check out the photos, check out all the awards, even get an estimate going online or call 913-206-1974. Cass and his team are absolutely fantastic. They can build your dream outdoor living space, just like they did for me. Schedule your free consultation today. Call 913-206-1974. Tell them Petro sent you and go to that website, allweatherdecks.net. That's allweatherdecks.net, and relax.
It's Truck Month right now at Adams Toyota in Lee Summit. Toyota Tundra trucks and Tacomas have 0% financing up